Total Smith here. Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy Downtown Deuce ASAP. Come on, man.
Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. It's our time. Can you feel the elevation? We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination. Together all the time together. It's us against the world, it don't get no better. We turned it around, that was the beginning. Coming for the crown, you know we winning. Time to put in the work, I'm about to go berserk. Taking our prisoners, it's my time. Yeah, I know that it hurts. Saying break out the church, you don't wanna see me in my prime. The mission is to ring, we're caught in everything. In the city, supporting the dream. Mission new I never seen, we deserve to be king. It's all or nothing, no in between. The clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Now the clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Yeah, feel the elevation. We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination.
Detroit basketball. What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Downtown Dude Show with the Boss. Hope you guys are having a great start to your week on this Monday night. Boss, how are you feeling tonight?
Oh, I feel great. I mean, this game was one that I think we both talked about a couple games ago that, the Lakers have been hot. It was going to be a tough one without Cade, and they got it done. So I'm very proud of them. We ended a streak, played great defense. Like you mentioned, it wasn't the prettiest at times, but I'm still just really in awe of how they were able to pull it together at certain moments. Yeah. So, and also I just want to say, guys, sorry, I wasn't here last time. I know we came out with a dub in that one too. And it was, playoff clinching. We had some things I didn't get to talk to you guys about, but feels good. We're back on the little streak here and we're doing it without Cade after literally everyone, fans included, were panicking a bit when he went down. But here we just, we can't say we just beat the Wizards and the Warriors or whoever without him. Not the Wizards. Who else did we beat without him? Warriors. And then, but we beat the Lakers. The 9 streak Lakers, who have been playing very well as of late. So, and had basically everyone healthy. They were out. You'll get to the box score. They're out a couple people, but not the three that matter the most to that team. So, yeah, I feel great. How do you feel?
Well, Nick says we need the extended vocal run. Detroit basketball. How's that, Nick? Is that better for you, bro? That's how I'm feeling right now, boss. Great game, man. Very, very weird game. The flow and just the Lakers are not like a lot of teams in the league, just the way they're built. They're built very weird and they're leaning into what they're best at. You don't see that all the time. So this was kind of a weird game. But once again, the Pistons just found a way to get it done. That's all I care about. Finding ways to win without your main guy, because you may need this kind of experience later in the season. So this is a huge win for this team. We see you guys in the comments, man. Yeah, we see all the comments. Y'all going crazy. We're going to do our best, as usual, chat, to get to as many comments as we possibly can. Y'all know the drill. We miss you. Super chat, caps lock, repost, whatever you got to do to get our attention, go ahead and do that. And we will do whatever we can to get to make sure we get your comment up here. So we appreciate you guys as always. Okay, go DJ. That's my D. We gonna get to him in full. Bro, I was talking to Jeremy Hart, Coach Hart, during the game, and it was just like, yeah, it was fun conversation. Fun conversation for sure, man. So had to make sure I mention that, and we're gonna get to that as well.
Yeah.
Nacho says, yeah, you know I got you, bro. You know I got you, man. All right. So guys, if you missed this game tonight, it was a good one. It was a good one. The Pistons guys, they faced off against the Los Angeles Lakers at home, and they grabbed their fourth straight win, like Boss mentioned, beating the red hot Lakers 113 to 110 in the nail biter, sweeping the season series, notching their fourth straight against the Lakers, their fourth straight overall, improving to 52-19 on the regular season. Just a lot going on as a result of this one game. And guys, also, this is the first time the Pistons have won 4 straight against the Lakers since 2003 through 2006. So this is also the second time this year the Pistons guys have snapped well, not just the Lakers, but any team's extended winning streak this year, which is pretty cool, right? They snapped the Hornets 9-game winning streak last month, Mushface, JD, and they snapped the Lakers 10-game winning streak tonight. So, boss, whoa, what do you know? I guess the Pistons, contrary to popular belief, maybe they're not going to fall off a cliff, with K sideline. Who would have thought? Who would have thought, boss?
Other than the way OKC started, do we still have the longest streak in the league at 13?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I think we have the longest streak in
the they can even get close with double digits. I think OKC got their 12th tonight, but they see the Celtics on Wednesday, so that'll be interesting.
Well, I wouldn't mind if they got 13 if they do it against the Celtics.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead and keep them at bay.
They can be the West team. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that just puts us in a category with OKC, the two
Facts.
number ones,
Facts.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But yeah, like you said, the fact that, just as we know, as Pistons fans this season, that this team can do well without Cade. They're now 10-2 without Cade after tonight's win. But of course, I think like we discussed, like after the slump that we had and just getting into playoff territory, other teams are playing harder for position. It's a little bit more realistic to think that we might have some issues and troubles, but those issues haven't come yet. So,
Facts.
So that's awesome.
For sure. So guys, keep the comments coming, man. We see you guys, and we're going to try to do what we can to get to you guys. Before we get into some super chats, boss, let's knock out the injury report, and then we can dive into those. So guys, for this game, Isaiah Stewart, he's still out with the MCL strain. I think he's going to be reevaluated this week. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. And of course, we know Cade Cunningham is out indefinitely with the collapsed lung. He's going to be reevaluated in about a week and a half. And also, Marcus Sasser, he's still out. He missed his second straight game with hip soreness. And I was saying this last show, boss, the Pistons are being very careful with him right now. I hope that this is not related to the nagging right hip impingement he was dealing with at the beginning of the year. Because he missed like 23 or 24 games to start the season. So I'm just hoping that it's not related to that. And if it is, I hope it's not anything that's going to be like chronic for him, because he worked hard to get back on the court. And so for him to go down now, it's just unfortunate for him. So
that's how I feel too. And, they might just keep being cautious.
Yeah.
He's something that we also talked about, especially as we get closer. We weren't really sure if he was going to be a guy that is in our final rotation and stuff, but he's absolutely still a weapon for our team, especially offensively. So we just want to hope that he's good, and hopefully it's just kind of a little bit of an overreaction. Because it's always, you don't want to see, especially when you already have 2 guys down, you don't want to keep adding people, but hopefully, it's just a little bit cautionary and not as, like you said, as bad as the one that the earlier this season too, because he has been solid for us and steady for us on the floor these last few games without Cade and without when Asar was out as well.
Yeah, so I'm just hoping for his sake that it's not anything that's going to keep him sidelined, not even just this season, but I hope after this season, if he's still here, wherever he is, that he's able to just play, because he deserves that. He deserves a chance.
Absolutely.
And then lastly, guys, Kevin Huerter, he returned to action tonight. He missed last game with a right shoulder contusion. So it was good to see him back on the court. It's good to see that he's not dealing with anything serious. And who knows, maybe that was somewhat affecting his shot. I'm not going to say it was completely, because he's been struggling the past year or so that he's been playing. So maybe it has something to do with it as far as why he's really been struggling late. I don't know. But right shoulder, I can imagine, his shooting hand, it might cause some discomfort. So I don't know. But I'm just hoping that if it was, that we will see a difference in his shot as far as his 3-point percentage and all that. But we'll get to him as well. Yeah. So lastly, boss, before we take off, on the Lakers side, Marcus Smart was out tonight, and Rui Hachimura was also out for this game. And Luka Doncic, guys, as you know by now, he played. He had a 16th technical foul rescinded by the NBA after they reviewed it and they heard what Orlando big man Goga Bitadze said to him. I don't know what was said exactly. Well, it's still kind of up in the air. You have anything on that, boss?
Yeah, they basically, the story is that because they're the story is that Goga repeated what Luka said just back to him, and they both got it rescinded, and it was both just kind of trash talk. To me, I get it; it's a step too far, but I've also seen Luka be a major trash talker, and he's talked about as a major trash talker. So I'm just like, why are we playing some favoritism here? But at the same time, if two guys are just trash talking to each other, and it's not necessarily impacting anything, it's not getting physical, then I don't really see the need for text. So for me, it was just more just like seeing them both get it rescinded. It's fine. I think, though, this is also the third 16th technical he's had rescinded. So at some point, the NBA just to trust their refs and just give it to him. And now he looks
that's crazy.
So I know it feels a little bit favoritism.
Like some favoritism. For sure. No, it is. Nobody else in the league will get that kind of treatment.
And they both got it rescinded, so that's, I guess, the fairness of it. But yeah, at least we know that can happen. So I'm ready to argue for JB and Stu if it ever gets to that point where this season's over. So.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. I actually, boss, was happy he played though, because if we're being fair, the Pistons, they have weathered the storm well through injuries and stuff like that. But the teams we've been playing been dealing with a lot of injuries too. If we're being all in all, just fair. So I was just happy to see the Pistons play against a quality team close to full strength. I know Rui didn't play. I know Marcus Smart didn't play, but at least we got to see the big guns in this game. So it was just good to see the Pistons competing against quality teams as the playoffs get near, because I don't want them to be caught off guard when the intensity picks up and the quality teams are playing picks up because they haven't played a lot of good competition winding down the regular season.
Absolutely. I'm not mad at it. It's something that we expected anyways. And then to get it placed back, it was just, like it never happened sort of deal. And so now the win, feels even better. There's kind of no excuses for them. I mean, they had a couple rotation players out, but you don't see Rui or Marcus Smart in the news for them often. It's usually those three, Luka, Reeves, and LeBron. So they had their big three, their stars. And our defense was able to shut them down. And we have our basically our big two, which is Cade and Duren, and one of them played and one of them didn't. And then Marcus Smart is kind of like their Stu in that the fact that he's very aggressive and they're probably their best defender. But Stu, they play different roles also, and I feel like Stu is more important to us than Marcus Smart is to the Lakers, sort of thing. And I've talked about this before. I think it was when Cade went down, I said, while Cade is very important as a facilitator, as our star, he isn't someone like Luka who's averaging 40 points a game and can get to say, like, he's not. I feel like the Lakers just rely heavily on those. It'd be more devastating if one of those three was out, and I would even kind of relate LeBron from that, only because they have been able to do it without him. So if Reeves or Luka were out, that would be a reason why the Lakers would struggle, but they weren't. They're
no excuses. No excuses, man. We were down guys too, like you mentioned, and the guys we had down were more impactful than the guys they had down. So to be able to still get a win says a lot. Says a lot, especially within the fashion that they did it. So, guys, as far as the starters for this game, the Pistons went with their current starting five of Dennis Jenkins, Duncan Robinson, Asar Thompson, Tobias Harris, and Jalen Duren. And the poll, guys, for not who gets the belt, because I think we all know who's going to get the belt in this game. But the poll for who you guys think is the X factor in this game is now live. So you guys have at that. And I'm imagining that's going to be pretty interesting poll because we had a lot of guys step up in this game.
Yeah, and just for no secrecy, like if anyone's confused, we think that Jenkins is going to get it. Yeah. That's why he's not X factor. Don't think
too easy.
Obviously, Jenkins was the best.
He
player
better get the belt. Yeah.
He was the X factor, but who besides him helped us get this win in there and how they contributed to the game, sort of thing. So
100%. We know what it is. So guys, let's get to some super chats, boss, and then we can get to some initial thoughts and things like that. So coming in first says Doug. What up, Doug? Doug says 6 is all I have to say. Keep stacking. So 6 is the magic number between losses. I'm imagining from the Celtics, combination of losses and wins for the Pistons. So if the Celtics lose 3 and we win 3, That's the magic number. We win 4 and they lose 2. That's the magic number. So
Mhm.
appreciate Doug keeping track. Doug always keeps track of that for us. So shout out to you, bro. Appreciate you, OG. First Class Kings says Danis the Menace. Yes, sir. Bro, we're going to get to that for sure. We're going to get to him in full. What a game. What a game, man, for sure. So hold that thought, First Class. I will come back to you if I can find your comment when we talk about Tink. Edward says, go Pistons from Brazil.
Wow.
What's going on, Edward? Scissor hand.
Yeah.
What's going on, bro?
Love it.
Shout out to you, man. Let us know if you have any thoughts about this game as well. Appreciate you showing up, man. Damadavi, our dog, per usual, coming through, says Lakers ain't got to go home, but they got to take their league-leading free throw attempts and get the hell up out of here. Some ups and downs. Had this as a loss against a hot team, so I'll gladly take the win. DJ better get the belt. I agree, bro. They got to go. They probably already on the bus out of here now. And I wouldn't be any, I can't be any happier about it. Y'all know LeBron's my GOAT, but when it comes to my Pistons, regardless of who's on the other side, it ain't no exceptions. So he's the enemy. Period. All them guys are the enemy. I've been a Lakers fan for years, but back to 04, now everything in between, everything before, it's always been Pistons first when it came to the Lakers. So I'm glad they got the win for sure. I didn't think they were, well, I won't say I didn't think. I wouldn't have been surprised if they lost this one.
Yeah.
Just because the Lakers are hot right now. They're finding ways to win. Right. It's really, they're beating good teams. We're down K, we're down Stu, trying to figure things out. Not doubting our guys, but just when you consider all those factors, I wouldn't have been surprised if we had lost this game. But I'm even more happy that they did, despite all those things. It says a lot about a young team for sure. And he said anything else? Yeah, DJ, he's gonna he has to get the belt. I think, boss, you were saying he had it, then he gave it to Asar, right? So Asar's probably gonna give it right back to him like hot potato. Okay.
Yeah.
Bet. Appreciate you as always, bro. On point per use, my dog.
Truly.
And then Dennis Pierre. What's up, Dennis? Dennis says, let's go, Detroit. I love it when we face the Lakers. Pistons swept them twice in the finals. Pretty much, if you want to say gentleman sweep, I ain't mad at you, bro.
The 5-game sweep.
If it wasn't for Kobe Bryant hitting that 3 late in that game to send us the overtime, yeah, shout out to Bean, man. Rest in peace, Bean. Says, JD played great defense on Luka. Yes, he did. Yes, he did, without fouling.
Yeah.
I have to get on here and say, hey, guess who had another 3-point foul? You know, it wasn't that. So
2 other guys did, but yeah.
Right. I'm gonna let you get to those since you mentioned it. I'm happy you mentioned that.
Yeah.
But then Dennis says Luka always does that pivot turnaround. Let's go to They didn't. It seemed like the Pistons were kind of scouted and prepared. They weren't scouted, but they were prepared. They had scouted the Lakers on how they like to play. I saw Duncan Robinson doing some things too, where he wasn't getting baited into fouls. It's almost like he knew when guys would go to a certain move, when to just pull back. And they would try to draw contact and he wouldn't drop. So I just saw across the board. I want to give the coaching staff a lot of credit because I thought in stints and spurts, the defense was really good. Yeah. The offense wasn't there to complement it at times, and that's why we couldn't really get a huge lead and keep it. But the defense, especially at the end of the game, was against a great team, offensive team like the Lakers who have weapons everywhere, and you got to switch and deal with mismatches. For them to still be able to get it done, bro, that's huge, Dennis. Huge, man. So one of my favorite wins of the season, to be honest with you, just because of the circumstance that we got it done on their side and on our side. So anything on that, boss?
No, I disagree. And you noticed something I did as well. Just a lot of great defense tonight, and JD especially. I was very proud of him at certain moments for not leaving his feet. B-Ball Paul, same thing. Tobias Harris, same thing. So, like you said, as we saw before the game that coaches were talking to Asar for his defense. And that was just obviously very apparent. They did a good job. You could tell the Lakers are getting frustrated. All of them like to talk to the refs, but even Kelser pointed out that even when Luka has he's like, look, Luka's fun to watch. He's a great player, but he has something to say every time. I feel like that's, no exception to LeBron and Reeves as well, it seemed like, but we were frustrating them. So they had to talking it out. And it felt good to frustrate them because it was apparent in the way that they, we're playing their basketball,
their style. Yeah. No, I'm glad you mentioned. I was going to save that, but I'm glad you mentioned that because watching this game, I watched this game whenever I watch the Lakers when they're playing the Pistons, I look at them so much differently because there's just no bias whatsoever. There's no bias whatsoever. But when I watch them against the Pistons, it's like, man, what are y'all doing? And watching this game, man, I realized how soft the Lakers are. The Lakers are soft, man. Like, it's crazy. Like, they can't deal with any contact whatsoever. like if you breathe on them too hard and you ain't got gum in your mouth, they gonna say it's a foul. It's crazy. Like, I don't know, man. Like this new NBA is crazy to me. But just watching them in particular, they may be one of the softest teams in the league, bro.
Well,
like it's insane. Because like there was this play where Austin Reeves, he was being guarded by Herter. He literally just dropped the ball where he just picked the ball up and just started walking away, just trying to force the ref to call it. And he didn't call it. Like, that's the epitome of not playing through the call.
Yeah.
When you pick up the ball and trying to force a ref to call the foul, either it's because when you do that, it's either going to be a turnover or a foul call. So he's trying to put pressure on you because he's so soft. He's trying to put pressure on you to call a foul.
Right.
And I'll shout out to the ref for just saying no, bro. Other way, that's a turnover. So it was hard to watch, man. But they're soft, bro. They are soft.
I know that, and like I know that you're a Lakers fan, but it's like this Lakers team is very difficult to watch. Like this.
Oh my Lord.
One. And I just don't know how you can. For me, it also comes down to coaching. Like I don't know how you can pride yourself on your team. And all they do is just constant. Because I know that we've talked about JD's hands in the air. We've seen JB is very vocal to the rest as well, but.
He don't do it like that. Nowhere. Like he's literally getting slapped across the back and shoulders and arms when he does. Like, at least he got a reason.
Was it Luka or LeBron that was just slamming the ball down after they didn't get the call? Was that Luka? Yeah. I mean, that would have been a technical to anyone else. It's like they almost just like knew that they didn't want to call him for his 16th again. And I was like, if that was Cade Cunningham, he'd get a technical for that. Like it was very tantrumy, and we saw that towards the end too, because let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys think that with 9 seconds left, do you guys think that, or there was like 24 seconds, that JJ Redick drew up a play for Luka to go have a floater, an ISO floater? Do you think that was the play that JJ Redick drew up? Because if that's it,
no.
It either way, to me, it felt like it felt like a foul baiting play instead of a basket getting play. And I don't like when teams play that way. There's a couple teams that do. And I just, we've talked about it. We are not a team that looks for fouls. When we start to look for fouls, we lose track of the ball. We lose possessions like the Lakers did tonight. We look for the basket. So
stay over there, bro.
Yeah,
stay over there.
I mean, Reeves was really getting annoyed. And that's the whole thing is like, the refs, I think, kind of called it equally both ways in the end.
Yes, I appreciate
they did
that.
let the Pistons play their style of defense, which I appreciate. They're not gonna, just because you flail, you're not gonna get the call. And just like they missed obvious ones too, like Herter getting slammed by Austin Reeves midair, like that was an obvious contact foul. And so, they got away with a couple of bait ones, and then it is always funny to me because at halftime, you saw Luka go talk to the ref, and then you saw Reeves go talk to the ref, and then you saw LeBron turn around and go talk to the ref, and you saw our guys go to the locker room.
Exactly.
It's just, to me,
just different styles of play with the East Coast and the West Coast, man.
And I'm just very glad. And the Lakers are a very offensive focused team. So when they, maybe their outlook would be different if they tried to play physical defense more. But I do think that's just, again, I'm very happy the team that we have, that's not our style of play, because it gets hard. I told you this morning, today was going to be, I wasn't looking forward to this game because I knew it was going to be a tough watch, because I don't watch the Lakers for that reason. It's hard for me to watch OKC sometimes for some flailing. Like there's just some teams I just have trouble watching. I don't watch the Celtics because I hate just constant 3-point shooting. It's boring. And so whistles all the time. And like, it's just boring. But
no, I agree. We're kind of already getting into initial thoughts, and I like it because it's a lot of good discourse already. So we can just kind of continue going through it. Before we go any further, I want to go to because this is the thing for me is that we're seeing that the Pistons, because everybody's saying, oh, what's going to happen with the Pistons? Are they going to be able to hold on to that? I just heard somebody today say it again. Like, are they going to be able to hold on to it? Everybody's picking the Celtics and they're picking the Knicks and they're picking everybody under the sky to beat the top seed except the Pistons. Right now. It's just crazy. So everybody's asking that question: How are they going to hold on? How are they able to keep winning? Whatever. Let's take a look at what Coach had to say about this pregame.
You don't replace, a guy like Cade. But what I think is most important and impressive about us is like we're a team first. And Cade is a big part of that, mindset for our group. It's not about just one person or one player. It's about a culture. It's about an identity. It's about a spirit. And our guys play with that spirit, no matter who's healthy or who's hurt. Obviously we know how much Cade means to this team, but he wants the guys to be successful. So he carries that spirit even when he's not in the game with them.
I just love hearing stuff like that. Like it's unfortunate that Cade had to get hurt for everybody, for casuals to see that we actually do have a good team aside from him. They just feel like when the head of the snake isn't there, we're not going to be able to do anything. And then you have guys who step up tonight like they did. And now hopefully that I was telling you, boss, if they win this game, the narrative is going to change on the Pistons going forward because it's going to force the league. Tomorrow morning is going to be what? Lakers, regardless of who they're playing, they're going to be on TV. They're going to be on national, right? So now the Pistons have beat them in this fashion without Cade. The narrative is watch them switch now. Watch all the fair weather fans start coming this way. Ooh, the Pistons, they in this shit. Yeah, we told y'all this months ago. So now y'all want to pay attention. So just guys, brace yourself for that. Because starting tomorrow morning, maybe even tonight, you're going to see the whole narrative change. And now everybody's going to be looking at all these Pistons and individual guys who maybe can step up, things we've known all year long. So just get ready for that.
It's also just a good reminder to us as a fan base. Like we've been playing team ball for years, and nothing changed about that this year. All that changed was that our stars, some of our young guys, are finally getting the recognition they deserve. Yeah. And at the beginning of the season, we also had injuries. And then again, I think that if we didn't kind of go through our little bit of a slump, just trying to figure things out post trade deadline, that I think some of the doubters, at least in our fan base, or who knew the Pistons a little bit more, wouldn't, have been so on us falling off with Cade gone. But it's just, again, reminding us that this JB expects next man up mentality from everybody, and they just keep showing us that. So we just have to believe that. And every team's going to have bad games, no matter who's playing, star or not. We've lost with Cade, we've lost without Cade, but the next man up thing has just been reiterated over and over again, and not only is it being said, but it's being shown. They're just showing what they can do.
Facts. Well said. Well said. Let's get to the super chat, boss, from our guy Camille. Camille says, "Hey, can't drop by streams lately. Just wanted to say hi to everyone. Been a relative's passing. Seeing my mother off for Umrah and long bus trips. I'm worn out, but I'll make up for it. Much love." Hey, listen, bro. Priorities, man. Priorities, bro, for sure. We appreciate you showing up, as always, but our heart goes out to you, man, for sure. Know it's got to be a lot on your plate right now. So definitely, everybody do me a favor and drop some prayer emojis in the chat for Camille, our guy. He shows a lot of love, always been here, knows Pistons basketball, and more importantly, he's a good dude. Good dude. Yeah. So you guys go ahead and y'all know how we do. We a community here. We always, send love and try to give love whenever it's needed. And this is an opportunity to do that. So let's go ahead and drop some prayer emojis, guys, for Camille. And Camille, bro, we thinking about you, praying for you, with you, man. Keep your head up.
Absolutely, all Camille. Right. Thank you so much. He is, just one of the best, biggest supporters, best international fans, best fans in general. Yeah. So, breaks my heart to see that, but that you have the support of the community behind you. And thanks for dropping in. And I'm glad the Pistons got a dub for you as well, because sports and our teams are such a great distraction sometimes for some of the rough things going on in our life. So, so nice that this was able to at least get your mind off of things for a little bit and end on a positive note tonight.
Shout out to you, man, and shout out to you guys in the chat, man. Y'all real ones, man. We appreciate that for sure. Okay, all right, boss. Real quick, let's go through some numbers I like to look at after every game to see if the Pistons play to their style. So, first thing I looked at is points, and this, like I said, guys, this is a weird game. These numbers, looking at it again, and it's like we still got a dub. So here we go. Points in the paint. Pistons lost that battle 48-58, which does not usually happen. And the Lakers don't have a big team. We're going to get to why that happened later, because the Lakers just kept doing the same thing over and over again. But we'll talk about it. Fast break points. Pistons only had 8. 8 fast break points. Normally, it's not going to get it done for a team who more than anything likes to get out in transition after stops and turnovers and get out and run. So to only have 8 points in transition and to give up 16, not a great sign. Rebounding, they lost that battle, 37-39. So once again, another thing the Pistons do well, they didn't do. Assists, they did have 31 assists. Lakers had 27, so that was pretty much a wash. But despite all those things, to me, those are some of the most important things I look at every game. That's like, if we do these things, we should win more times than not.
Yeah.
And for the Pistons to not do it and still find a way to still win without Cade and Stu, incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. So I just want to shout them out, because even despite, because you're not always going to be able to win the battle every single game, right? You want to play the way you want to play, but sometimes it just doesn't allow for that. So this is one of those games where it just didn't allow for it, and they still found ways to get it done. So shout out to them for still gutting it out. It's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, agreed. And I am actually, kind of shocked by those numbers as well. So, but I do have to say, I think just in terms of the points in the paint, especially, it was tough to get to some of our guys, but that also goes to show that the Lakers are a very good 3-point shooting team.
Mm-hmm.
And we were able to shut down their perimeter game a little bit, at least bother them. And that forced them to go into the paint. But I do agree, like, they even beat us, and we tied for steals 6-6, but we had 4 blocks and they had 6. 4 of those were Jackson Hayes, which
Your favorite player.
Yeah, that's showing me I'm just that can't happen. But we got the win, so I don't care. You can play like that, Jackson, I guess. But I do totally agree with you. But it's kind of funny because a lot of those things go into, like you said, our defense, which results in transition points and or helps us set up points in the paint and everything. But I still liked our defense tonight. So like you said, the box score doesn't really reflect how this, because I thought we played great defense, but now I'm like, well, this is definitely areas that we can even improve on when we match up against tougher teams again. But they adjusted well, they figured it out, and that's all you can ask for, is just to adjust to your opponent when you need to.
Exactly. Yeah. So real quick, what I saw is that the Pistons did not want to allow Austin Reeves and Luka to get into the lane and be able to just break the defense down and dissect. That's why you saw JD trapping. You saw guys coming out to double. You saw guys switching. And a lot of time what that will mean is once JD goes out there to trap or double, you got to rotate now. And with JD moving away from the basket, when the ball starts to swing and the shot goes up, now you got a little guy under the hoop who's trying to box out a huge DeAndre Ayton. So they kept going to that over and over again. They recognized we were not going to allow Luka to just get to the rim at will, LeBron get to the rim at will, Reeves get to the rim. They were like, no. So their counter was, okay, let's move the ball and find our big down low. He's going to be switched. There's going to be a little guy switched onto him. That's why you kept seeing Dennis Jenkins, who was rotated properly, because that's the last rotation. But it's like, that's what they were trying to hunt that out. And that's why you saw Ayton going over the top and getting put back. And that's why that kept happening. It's because that's a reaction to us saying we're not going to allow Luka to get into the paint and do whatever he wants. So you gotta take something away, but when you take something away, something's going to be available, and that's what they decided to go to. So that's why the numbers look skewed. But once again, they still found a way to get it done. They found a way to get it done, because every team doesn't have a Luka offensively to where you have to do that. Most times you can just play straight up, right? Especially when you got to start Thompson and Javonte Green around Holland. So that was the game plan, and it worked. It worked. Yeah. So that's all that matters.
Agreed.
So we'll leave that there. But yeah, it was weird, boss. This game was just strange. It was like the Pistons, both teams came out the gate real slow. It was like 6-7 with like 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. It was weird, but nobody could hit a shot. But we talked about the paint points, right? That's why we also gave up so many offensive rebounds, for the same reason. Once they got that switch, if they weren't able to go to their big man in the post, they were grabbing the offensive rebound because they had a big guy in there versus a little guy, because JD had to switch out or he had to get out there. So that was tough. First play of the game that happened, offensive rebound off of a missed shot, and they scored off of it. So the Pistons, it's crazy because the Pistons shot better than the Lakers did in the first quarter, but they were still down because they gave up so many offensive boards. And it seemed like Luka converted every single time. The Lakers scored 27 in the first quarter. Luka had 17. So that says a lot right there about what the game plan was. The Pistons was trying their best to keep him out of the paint. He was just hitting shots early. Boss.
Yeah, but then we kept LeBron scoreless. I don't know how many. I feel like he didn't have any shot attempts though, so I can't speak.
Let me look
much to that, because he
didn't have a lot though.
Yeah, he was shooting. He had assists. He was playmaking there.
Yeah,
and then we did keep Luka scoreless in the second quarter, so we did adjust to that. But I agree, the first quarter was tough just because I thought a great way to win against an offensive team is when you get stops, you have to convert on the offensive end. You have to take advantage of your offensive possessions. So no one was scoring, but we kept getting stops, but then we weren't scoring on that end. And there were a couple in and outs. Like there were a couple that should have been, it was, because it wasn't even like, I mean, the way that the Lakers were shooting was bad. Like Reeves had like 2 bricks in a row. Luka is coming up short. And then it just felt like ours were like close, but just barely there. So our shots were a little bit closer. So, but then again, the second, when our defense picked up, so did our offense, even though a lot of that was in transition, which usually we can credit to our defense. I think it was just getting everybody in the groove and playing our style of play. The second quarter was definitely my favorite quarter. We just completely outplayed
for sure.
And we're able to convert on the offensive end and everything. So
that's a fact.
But yeah, I do agree. It was just a weird start because it's not like we weren't getting looks. The Lakers weren't getting looks. Nothing was falling for either team. So
yeah, but like you said, the second quarter was the best quarter of the game.
Yeah,
easily. That was when they went up double digits. That was when they scored 42 points. Was in that second quarter. They turned it up defensively. We always say you got to score, right? Of course. You're not always going to be able to get out and run, but we know the Pistons have shown that all year that they can turn teams over. They can get stops and they can get out and run. So, and when you do that, it's easier for everybody to score. You don't need to have a polished one-on-one scorer that you can just throw the ball to or just go to Kate when you're getting turnovers. Everybody can score in the break. So they stopped doing that they really didn't do it in the first quarter. The second quarter, they did it. That's when you saw everybody getting involved. That's when we really were able to get out a little bit and start getting at least good looks in transition. You mentioned we couldn't really convert a lot, but we got our looks, and that's all you can ask for. Third quarter wasn't the same. But to the Pistons' credit, LeBron didn't score until the third quarter. So I want to give him credit for that. But the third quarter, once again, they let their foot off the gas. We always talk about 48 minutes, boss. We always say 48. Yeah. And the third quarter, that's kind of been a problem for us at times. When we've had leads, we kind of let it get away in that third quarter just because we didn't have the same urgency that the Lakers had. They had a different urgency. Their execution was better. They were crisper. They were playing better defense, not individually, but they were rotating very well, funneling the ball to Asar, just trying to do different things as a team to make us take tough shots. And we didn't respond well to that.
I do agree slightly because usually I do feel that way, but I think it was a combination of us letting our foot off the gas a little bit, and the Lakers started finding their shots more. Like Reeves went to the free throw line at the end of the second. I think that's what he needed to see the ball go in. And then he just came out hot in the third. So I think it was just a combination too of some guys just seeking their shots after not that, but then some of our defense lacked, and then we did pick it up towards the end. And then the fourth was just a little bit back and forth. The fourth felt like playing against the big three Lakers. Like it felt like playing against 3 very good players and just trying to stay in the game and then pulling away. But that's why I think I also really love this win because it was close and I felt like we deserved to win. Because just like you, I came into this game and I was just like, as long as we play well, I'm going to be okay. And I was kind of telling myself, I was like, okay, well, if we lose this, we still played pretty well against this team without Cade, so I'm happy about that. But like at the same time, I feel like we've outplayed them most of the game. Like we actually deserve this one. We should win it. So I'm really glad that we did. But the third, we did let our foot off the gas a little bit, but I don't think we necessarily got sloppy or anything or just completely gave up. I think that the Lakers, like you said, the Lakers just picked it up from their style of play, and we didn't necessarily pick it up from ours. We kind of just maintained. And then they also had guys hitting their shots. So I do agree, but I also think, we've seen worse third quarters from us. That's true. But I do agree with you.
Yeah, we've seen quarters where it was just all us giving them points. Tonight it was more so a combination of, I agree with you there. Yeah. Mike says both teams played first quarter like it was, first quarter and fourth quarter. Fourth quarter for sure was high intensity. Both teams were strapping up. Both teams in the half court. But the better defensive team won the game. And that's who we are. Without Cade Cunningham, without Stu, even without Stu, the best defensive team won the game. And that's how we're going to have to win games in the playoffs. That's how these games are going to look. Who can get the most stops, not who can get the most scores, especially when you're a team who can get scores off your stops. So, Michael, dead on, bro. And then Maddie, what up, though, Maddie? Maddie says, What up, the dudes and boss? Nothing better than tapping in with the best post-game show after a big win. We beat LA. Appreciate you, bro, as always. We got to get you on the show, boss. We
Yes.
got to get Maddie on the show soon.
I know.
Got to get Maddie on the show soon. It's
We
been a minute.
talked about it. We're going to
We
have
did.
hopefully a fan thing. I think the week of the play-in is kind of what
The
we're
week of
thinking.
the play-in. That's what we're shooting for.
After the season's over, we have
Yeah.
a week off. We just have to watch the playing games. It won't be the same night as the playing games because those obviously are important to us. It helps us win our matchups. But that week, we're going to set up a show where we can get you guys on. And we'll give you a fair enough warning when that's set so that we can see who wants to get in, send the link, do all that. It'll just be talking about the season. Any talking points you guys want to talk about, we'll get to. So,
in the words of Smokey, that's my dog.
Yeah.
That's my dog, Maddie. Appreciate you, bro. And last thing before we get to some box scores, boss, we're just seeing, I said it already, but we're kind of just really seeing with this Pistons team, with their style, it translates whoever they're playing against. If they're playing a defensive-minded team, it translates.
Yeah.
If we're playing an offensive-minded team, it translates. Like, we're better than most defensive teams in the league. So if we play the way we're supposed to, we're gonna out-defense you. We're gonna beat you. We're better at you at the style you're trying to play because we play the same way and we have the personnel to do it. And then with offensive teams, we see teams like the Lakers who cry over every call. If the ref is not gonna cater to them all game, they're not gonna want to deal with that style of play. They're not gonna want to deal with getting pressured 94 feet all game. They're not going to want to deal with the physicality of our team being in your face all game. They're not going to want to deal with having to run and get back on defense and transition when the Pistons are turning you over. So that's taxing for any team. The way the Pistons play, the style of play, it works against any and everybody. Even in 2026, when the league is evolving, right? I think it's just respected when you play hard. When you respect the game, when you play hard on both sides, more times than not, even if you're not a favorite around the league, you're going to get rewarded for it. And so I think the Pistons style of play and the personnel they have on their team, they have guys who fit the style of play perfectly. So there's not many teams who can really beat us consistently when we're playing our style. And we've seen it against teams like the Lakers. We've seen it against teams like the Thunder, the Rockets, everybody. Whoever we play pretty much, other than the Spurs, who are just an anomaly in my opinion. But we've shown we can beat pretty much anybody when we play that way. So I want to give the Pistons credit because they got it done, even though it wasn't according to the script of how they want to play. So good stuff on them for sure, man. I'm really excited about this win, boss.
Same.
So yeah, let's get to some box scores, man.
Let's do it.
I think we're good on the comments for now. I don't see anything else popping. All right, so guys, let's get to some box scores, man. First, let's check on the poll, boss. Let's see what the poll is looking like as far as to who you guys think. Go ahead.
I'll be right back as well. I had to put my dogs away because there was a fire alarm going off, but now I'm going to let them back out. So that's
all right, bet. So guys, who was the Pistons X factor? I'm going to try to get this out before boss comes back so she can guess. But Asar Thompson coming in hot at 39%. Jalen Duren at 34%. Tobias Harris at 13%. And Duncan Robinson also at 13%. So once again, I like this. I always like it when nobody has more than 45% because that means that it was a team win. It means you could have went any different direction. Did you hear what I said about the results or no?
I just heard the last two with 13. But who's leading?
Okay. So Asar has 39%. I was going to make you guess, but I ain't going to make you guess. Asar at 31 at 39, JD at 34, and Tobias and Dunk at 13. So I like how it's spread out.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So boss, let's get some box scores, man. Let's start with Danis Jenkins, man. Okay, guys, tonight Danis Jenkins finished with a career high 30 points on 11 for 18 shooting, 4 or 5 from 3, 4 or 4 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 8 assists to 2 turnovers for a great 4-to-1 assist turnover ratio in 39 minutes, boss. As our only point guard, he had to log the most minutes as he's done the last few games because he's the only true point. Yeah. So I'm going to let you go first. I have a lot to say, but I'm going to let you tee it off and let me know what you saw in this game from Tink, boss.
I mean, he just did fantastic. I mean, obviously career high 30 points. What an incredible feat. And then assists too, 8 assists to lead the team, which is exactly what we want from our point guards. Usually he's number 2 to Cade's number 1. But just some plays that I really enjoyed from him today was that corner 3 that he hit at the end of the first when he was like falling away.
Yep.
He was just in the second, he was hitting some nice midi jump shots, just pull up and hit them. It was just, those are just such a threat. I love the mid-range shots. They're coming back. It just, that's like such a Durant kind of move. Just dribble it in a little bit, make it the
just get to your
defense.
spot.
Yeah, make the defense guess what you're going to do, and that creates space in itself. You don't need to push off, just need to make them, think that you're going to drive it even further. He hit 2 big threes in the second, just was smooth. He ended the half with 15 points, 5 assists, and 3 of 3 from 3, and then no turnovers in that half. So in the fourth, I loved when he lost the dribble and then he was able to regather it. I didn't like that. There's just a couple Lakers that are a little close to his legs at times. I was like, please don't dive for our point guard's legs.
Yeah.
But he got out of it, and
he got PTSD. We're traumatized from any time somebody dives on the floor.
Exactly. But the vision, that he just saw straight to the basket and was able to get the layup there. So obviously just an incredible game from him. The third quarter, again, when he was so hot in the first half, and then he was he started off the third a little bit slow, and then found his shot again. Because I texted you too. I was like, I hope it didn't go away, that it didn't go cold after so hot, because it just looks so automatic today. It looks so pretty. So I mean, that means that if he ended the first half with 15 points and finished with 30, that he 15 points and 15 in both halves, it's just incredible. Better than LeBron did today, so you can say that.
That's a fact.
I'm just double checking that. Yeah,
no, you good? No, yeah, he was.
He had one more basket to tie with Luka, so he was up there, one of the best point guards in the league. So incredible game from Jenkins, and and obviously very good on defense as well. I'm surprised he didn't record a stock. He was on Luka a couple times. He was on Reeves a couple times. I think the most impressive thing for me is, obviously 4 or 5 from 3, but just 11 of 18 overall at 61% shooting. That's just beautiful, especially when you have to put up 18 shots and then that's what you finish with. That was just awesome. So I'm very, very excited for him, very, very happy for him, because this is just the offense. Like we've talked about it. If he's not scoring, he's just facilitating and vice versa. And today he did a little bit of everything, and he deserved his career high against Wow. He gets to say that he came in the league as a 2-way and got his career high against LeBron James.
Against the Lakers.
That's really cool.
That's storybook right there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't want to hear no more Dennis Jenkins slander the rest of the year, y'all. No more. No more. It felt like people were just praying on his downfall. Oh, he had these last 4 games, he ain't been shit. But the whole year he's been playing well. I ain't trying to hear it, man. No more. Miss him with that for sure, bro. Miss him with all the Dennis Jenkins slander. I'm not trying to hear it. He does what he always does, man. This is what I've been saying. This is what me and Boss have been saying since he was drafted in the summer league of last offseason. He's built for this. He's a big-time player. He's got a high IQ. He's an extension of coach on the floor. He knows how to run the offense. He knows how to get guys good shots. And he can also go and get his own offense. He's a quarterback on the court. Like I always say, when he's got the ball in his hands, I'm like this. All right, bro. I'm not concerned he's going to turn it over or bounce, have a bunch of careless passes, get caught in the air, throwing the ball. And no, he doesn't. He knows how to quarterback the position. He does a great job at that. He has so many big plays in this game. You mentioned a few of them, boss. Just play after play after play. Kevin actually mentioned earlier the 3 ball at the end of the first quarter, falling out of bounds. Yep. Got him going. That was a tough shot. With a hand in his face.
That was a Jokic shot.
That was a yoke. Yeah, it was. Yeah, the one-legged fader. Yeah. But that was big for him. That kind of got him going. And he kind of just let that he rode that wave for the rest of the game, especially late in this game. Late in this game, guys, that may be his biggest quality is his clutch gene.
Yeah,
all year he's been clutch. Whenever we needed him to knock down free throws, he hit 3 free throws in a different game. I forgot which game it was. If you can remind me, 3 free throws to tie the game to send the overtime. Tonight he hit, I think, 5 or 4 free throws in a row to ice the game after hitting a big shot. Like go ahead.
Yeah, I think it was the Cavs game, the one that we came all the way back somehow.
That was the game.
But
when Kate was out.
Yeah, but exactly what you said too, of just because I talk about all these shots, but the clutchness also in making your free throws when it matters. We've seen players. Jamal Murray comes to mind first, but we've seen very good free throw players. And at some point you're like, well, he keeps doing this for us. At some point, just in terms of probability, he's going to miss one, but he keeps not missing them.
Like
all his free throws.
Facts. Like Kurt says, come on, I love gonna criticize every player when they don't show up. Yeah, I criticized him when he didn't play well. I called him out when he wasn't playing well in that stretch, right? I'm not saying don't criticize. I'm just saying I don't hear any more about he got the bag and now he's chilling. That's what I'm talking about. All that conversation about how he's chilling now. He let us fall off the gas. He got paid. He don't care anymore. Nah, miss me with all that.
Yeah,
miss me with all that. A guy's allowed to have a stretch of games where they don't play great, especially when they've been playing great the whole year and they still have only played 75% of an NBA season.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I'm talking about. Just give him his proper credit. We're going to criticize and get on guys when they need it, but we're going to also be fair and honest and be as vocal when they deserve the credit. So they deserve it. He deserves it tonight. He balled out like he always does. For me, it's a little bit personal just because we both kind of watched his journey, boss, as far as trying to get to this level and finally getting a contract and playing great a bunch of games and then getting DNPs, playing great again when he's called upon 3-4 games later and then getting more DNPs. It's like, it's just nice for him to show that he can do this. And I'm glad that he's getting opportunity consistently to where it's like he doesn't always have to feel like he has to be an impactful player to stay on the court. He's going to be on the court. He knows he's going to be in the court. There is no, if he makes a mistake, he's looking at the sideline, coach going to pull me out. Like, no, you're playing, bro. You played 39 minutes because you are the only true point guard on this team. So once again, I'm just glad he's getting the opportunity to show what he can do. No more slander. No more slander for Dennis Jenkins, bro.
Yeah, and I think, like we've said, we do we do love Danis, and I think just they're in the slump for a lot of guys. We're just like, this isn't really like him, and we're allowed to call that out too. But he stepped up. Like, this was a big moment. And look, if he plays his best against the teams like the Lakers, if he plays best in clutch moments and big moments, I'm cool with that because there's a lot of guys who can't and don't. So of course you want to see him play his best through everything, which I think he does. But he is just now getting back into really good minutes with this rotation because we saw even the last couple games, just a few games ago, when they're just trying to narrow down shooting guards. They just didn't play him, just not because he wasn't doing well, because he was benched, but just because they needed to play shooting guards proper minutes. So, and look, Cade goes down, and of course Danis is right back in the lineup for them because that's our backup point guard, and just continues to prove it. And I think that even he understood that the production that he was giving lately for this team wasn't what he wanted to give. He knows he can do better and step it up, and tonight he absolutely did that. And I think in his post-game interview, he just mentioned how he just wants to stay calm in big moments, and he's clearly very good at that. And that just goes to personal growth, and also it comes from guys like Coach Hart. It's a learned skill to stay calm and steady in big moments.
Moments. Yeah, he continues to do that, man. So like I always say, we're gonna need him to keep doing it, right? This isn't the finish line at all. We just taking it game by game. We're gonna need him to keep playing at this level. I think he had 22, 7, and 8 last game, and tonight 38 and 4. So yeah, we're gonna need him to continue, and not even just the numbers, just continue to lead this team, which I have complete confidence he's gonna do because he's continued to do it. But we got to keep seeing it. We're gonna need him to be able to sew up first place. We're gonna need him to keep doing that, and I have no reason to doubt that he's gonna do it. I haven't doubted him since he's been here. So I'm just happy that he's proving the doubters wrong, boss, and making us look a little good right now. So
agreed.
Yeah. Anything else you want to take?
No, man, just congratulations, Danis. Congratulations, Coach Hart. Congratulations to everybody, in his family, friends, his circle, because he just continues to step up in big moments for this team. And there's a lot of wins this season that we credit a lot to him and his production today with them.
For sure. And lastly, Doug says, do you guys think Cade going down is giving the team an edge back? Man, this team plays so hard. It truly is a Detroit legacy squad. Yeah, I think they all collectively play a little bit harder. They lean in a little bit more to who they are because they don't have the luxury of having an MVP player on the court while doing it. Like, Cade isn't a cone. Like, Cade plays defense too.
Yeah.
But he also does so much offensively. So when he isn't there, you got to lean into something even more. And what they're doing is leaning into their defense. They're leaning in even more to their defense. They're moving the ball around even more. They've got a little bit more unpredictability offensively because you haven't seen as much film without Cade. They don't know what Danis Jenkins, they do now. But they didn't know what he could really do at what level. So I think, Doug, they're leaning in even more and leaning on each other defensively even more to be able to pull these wins out. And I like it. I love it.
I do think that Cade going down has reminded us that we need to just, go back to our roots as a defensive team. And this is why I think today was one of the better defensive games that we've had in a little bit. So I do agree with that. And I do think they might not sit there and listen to all the analysis, but they're aware of it. They're aware of the discourse around this team. They've been aware of the discourse even with Cade on this team. So they want to go out there and just play hard and show that they can win, and they're all NBA players for a reason. So
facts. Yeah. So we'll leave it there, guys. Let's keep it pushing, boss. Let's go now to Duncan Robinson, guys. Duncan Robinson tonight finished with 12 points on 4 for 10 shooting, 4 of 9 from 3, 2 assists, 2 turnovers in 28 minutes. Take off on Dunk. What'd you see?
Gosh, the most surprising thing for me is no rebounds, because he's been flying in for those. And I think tonight he just really understood his role as needing to be a perimeter guy. So he stayed, he was just stayed, high or ready to go on the break. So I can understand why he wasn't necessarily near the boards. But the first bucket of the game was just a really nice bounce pass from Duncan.
Yeah, that was nice.
And if it was just a cone who just shot threes for us and wasn't some kind of a facilitation, or then we wouldn't see moves like that. Like, he understood the play and he understood the court and the vision. And you just love to have guys out there like that. Again, when you have guys like Cade out, just to help keep the ball moving and keep the defense, on its toes. After his second three in the second, which was made off of really good ball movement, our ball movement really just messed with the Lakers. That's why they ended up going to a zone later in the game, truly, I think, because we were just able to move the ball really well. And he hit the second three at the top of his second three in a row at the top of the key from good ball movement. And then he just did a little lip snarl, and I love to see it. I love to see it.
Yeah, that was funny. Saw a little dog come out.
I love it. And then so he had 2 threes in a row in the second, and then he had 2 threes to open the third. It just felt like he couldn't miss. Again, 4 of 9. I'm not mad at it. He got 9 threes up, which is exactly what we want from him. To make 4 of them is huge. I thought he played good defense at good moments, like you talked about earlier. We talked about how impressed we were with JD and some guys not leaving their feet. And Duncan did the same. There were a couple times that he was switched onto Luka. There was a couple times that his assignment was Austin Reeves. And also, I just want to say Luka's assignment was Duncan, which tells you what kind of defense Luka plays.
Exactly. No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
But Duncan, he made the smart plays. I think one foul was even questionable at one point. I remember him just being like, "What do you mean? How was that a foul?" But again, for a guy to be targeted, he's kind of Asar and him and Tobias are probably the ones I was most worried about being targeted by guys like Luka, who know how to draw the fouls smartly, who know how to initiate the contact. But Duncan and Duren both, Luka just kind of, you saw him lower the shoulder, and they stayed put.
Yeah, exactly.
They stayed put. Luka Doncic can make a basket over a defender. He doesn't care about how close you're defending him. He can still make that basket, but he will also still try to draw the foul off of you. So just don't give him the and one, or make him, or don't give him the better. Once he tries to draw a foul and gets frustrated, then he just throws the ball in the air thinking that they'll blow the whistle. Make the onus turn on him and the refs. Don't put it on you. So I'm very proud of Duncan in that sense too. So good game from him. And it's definitely why he's on our poll today, just because he did have some big moments. And again, to open the third, shooting those threes, especially the way that the third quarter ended up going for us, those threes early were huge to help us keep it up when the Lakers started to close in. So good game from Uncle Dunk.
He only shot 4 for 9, but I felt like this was his night overall.
Yeah, exactly.
This is after one of his threes, and he zoomed in on it. And it's like, that don't happen on missed shots. So 4 for 9 is great for me. I'm taking 4 for 9 every single night, and it's more so the 9 than the 4, because he's not always going to be able to shoot well every night. It's the volume. We always say this. It's the volume. With guys we had last year, they got them shots up. They got them threes up as a threat. Just continuing to show and be a threat and put pressure on the defense with your movement and your shooting. As the only sniper, he has to do that. He has to. In the last few games, he has. I think he's taken like 6, 8, or 6, 8, and 9 in the last 3 games. So they're going up. They're going up. And for him, we're going to need that. We know he can put the ball, because now he can put the ball on the floor. The more he makes shots, the more he takes shots, the more they're going to close harder. So the more he can put the ball on the floor and be a secondary playmaker, which he did as well. He mentioned the first play of the game, the DHO with Asar. DHO, nice pass, and Asar cuts immediately. Nice little slip pass for a dunk.
Mhm.
They ran the same thing, I think, in the second quarter with someone else. The same exact play. They ran the same thing. I think it was, Kevin Herter did the same thing with Paul Reed in the second quarter. Same play. DHO, slip to the basket, slip pass for a dunk for Paul Reed. So that's what I meant before when I'm saying they're running the same plays with different guys. You don't always expect to see those two guys running the same play, right? So that as well just adds to it. I'm waiting, Tom. Come on, bruh. Come on, you gotta have that control pace ready. You gotta so we can get it up immediately. But no, I thought Duncan was good. For me, that's the biggest thing though. Detroit basketball. Appreciate your time as always, bro. For Duncan, it's just like you gotta continue to be aggressive. Just offensively. Defensively, he was doing some good things. I mentioned and that was part of the scouting. You mentioned JD, the scouting report. It's like they watched film. They watched film on how to guard these guys. You can see they paid attention to how they like to draw fouls, how to, initiate contact and things like that. And you saw Duncan Robinson when he was guarding him. Like I said, he had his hands down. His arms run out. He was not allowing himself to get caught on the pump fake or to bite or to let him grab his arm. And no, he had his hands down, forcing through a tough shot. So that you could tell from watching the game, they studied these guys. They watched film on these guys, and it paid off. So once again, the coaching staff has a lot to do with that.
I don't know if that's the same one you're thinking of that you were just talking about, but it reminded me, it had me laughing, like out loud laughing when Luka was trying to draw it on Duncan and he just stood there.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
He just stood there.
He's like, I'm just going to stand here. And there was contact, but it was initiated by Luka. And he's just like, I'm not going to move. Statue. So
if you make it, good shot, but it's a tough one. I ain't bailing you out with 2 free throws. And that's exactly what you just said.
And one. And I'm not, just not bailing you out. This is Luka leads the league in whistles drawn. So he is what he does. And even today, I felt like we had him rattled, especially after that second quarter that he went scoreless. His face out there, like he was smiling in the first a little bit, like, with
Ron. Yeah.
Because Dunk got him on the wrist. Was it Dunk? Oh no, it was Ron. Ron got
he didn't even touch him.
Oh,
he didn't even touch him.
Elbow. Yeah.
He initiated contact and bumped him off. Ron goes to contest and doesn't even touch him, and they give him 3 free throws. That's why Luka was smiling.
Because
he thought it was gonna be that kind of game. Go ahead.
There were a few in the first quarter after we used our challenge already. There were a few that I was like, oh, we can challenge that, but I understood why he didn't because you wanted to say that till later, especially this is the way it's gonna go. We ended up not needing it, but that's when you hindsight, we're like, oh, that could have worked out, and that's why he was frustrated. So Luka's out there laughing, but it's like, but by the fourth quarter, he wasn't laughing.
Because he wasn't getting more whistles.
He looked actually scared. He looked scared. So like I don't know what to he was just completely off his game. He couldn't figure it out. We weren't letting him get anything, especially late too. That again, when he went in and took a floater shot with 9 seconds left, that's not how the Lakers, that wouldn't be the play I would choose unless you're intentionally going in to try to draw fouls because other teams just give it to you. We kind of gave him that floater. We kept in front of him. We're just kind of like, sure, take it, bud. But it came
100%,
out. So,
100%. Real quick, Solo Ace says, shout out Ribertino getting Dennis Jenkins together development-wide. Yeah, St. John's, bro. After Iona, that was huge for him.
They just won on a buzzer beater, right? In March Madness.
Yeah, I think they did. Crazy. But
cool.
So Duncan was good, man. Duncan, just as far as his discipline, as far as his aggressiveness offensively and the effort defensively, good game from him. But just keep getting them up, bro. Keep getting make them guard you. And he's doing that. And he's knocking them down. So good on him. Boss, let's go to Asar, Tasmanian, backbone of the defense, Thompson. Guys, tonight, Asar Thompson finished with 6 points on 3 for 11 shooting. Misses only free throw. I think he shot a 3, didn't he? It didn't fall, if I remember from the corner.
But it wasn't.
You don't have it here, though. It wasn't terrible. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like him shooting when it's there. Also have 5 boards, 3 assists, 1 turnover, and a steal and a block. A steal and a block for 2 stocks in 36 minutes, boss. So 6 points, 36 minutes. A lot of stuff that doesn't show up here. What'd you see from Asar Thompson in this game?
Yeah, look, Asar, he played great defense against them also. He only had 2 fouls in the first half. He was one of the guys who was just completely getting under Luka's skin. So he just did awesome. I think he had a steal and a block, but I think there were a couple shots that came up short from the Lakers that he was defending on. He played very level-headed. I think just for me, the negative is 3 of 11 is just not good. A couple of those were at the rim. A couple of those were like jump shots that were pretty close. He had a couple that came to him late in the shot clock, which we talked about was an issue that we don't want to see. If the ball's moving, and it's a late shot clock, don't give it to Asar for the last shot. It's just not who you want taking the shot right now. He is out there for his defense and he can get baskets, but just, it was shown tonight. He's not quite there yet. He can have good shooting nights. The other night he had a good one. But they're just a little bit too infrequent for me to be like, yeah, just keep moving the ball to get it to Asar at the free throw line. Nah, if it's at Asar at the rim, sure. But he had some nice cuts to the basket. He only had one free throw attempt that he missed. One turnover. Yeah, 4 fouls. He was just aggressive on both ends. The block that he had was on Austin Reeves at the basket, which was really pretty. I love that. And so
that was nice. Really, he's had like 3 games in a row now where he's just like had a ridiculous block.
Yeah. And that's exactly what you want to see. I mean, I missed last game, but I was aware of his 7 steals. I mean, that's disgusting.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And so just for him to keep adding, I'm happy if I see him check off boxes in the stocks, steals and blocks. That's why he's out there. 5 rebounds too is also big. It's the 3rd most on the team. So love to see him flying in. He had that one rebound where he like flew in over, he like jumped over Ayton. Like he flew in.
Yeah, he's ridiculous. He's ridiculous.
And it was like he flew in high enough that his elbows wouldn't get Ayton in the back for an over the back. Like he just grabbed it straight up. Even Ayton looked around. Oh, then he got it out to dunk, I think.
You know what was going on. That was funny.
Ayton looked around like, what? Who did that? I'm 7 feet tall. They're on the bench, bro. But it was. So I think just for me, the one thing is like I don't want to see 3 of 11, but also we won the game. He was getting up shots. I'm not mad at 3-point attempts. I'm not necessarily mad at his mid-range shots. It was just some of the timing of a couple of them. But it wasn't his fault. Like he just shouldn't. He just ended up with the ball in late shot clock. But he's looking a lot more confident out there, and that's all you can ask for. And it's again, these are guys that are tough to defend. These are not only players that can make tough shots, all 3 of them, LeBron and Reeves and Luka, but they can also, they have smart moves. They can make them, like someone said about Luka's, his switches, his turnarounds. LeBron knows how to draw contact. Like these guys know how to do it. So
facts.
It's good. Yeah.
Brandon says, give Asar the biggest thing.
Oh,
I'm not sure if you guys saw that in the pregame when he was talking to Natalie Kerwin. And he provided us with the biggest pause moment of the season.
You guys were the first team in the Eastern Conference to clinch a playoff spot. What does that achievement mean to you personally?
I want the biggest thing. I want, whoa, my fault. I want to win a championship.
It's just so funny because
he made it way he made it way bigger than it had to be. Like it didn't even have to be that, bro. He could have said, "I want the biggest thing."
When I've heard people say,
"I want a championship," he was like, "Whoa, whoa."
It's like when I've heard guys say pause or things like that, I'm just like, you didn't need to. Now you've drawn attention to it.
But it shows you his sense of humor, though, because you can tell he does that with. You can tell he does that with all his friends and all his boys. Because it's just like knee jerk for him whenever he says something like that. That had me dying when I first saw it. Because like he doesn't say a lot. He's usually soft spoken and quiet. But I love when his personality comes out and we get to hear stuff like that. I know that's not your favorite kind of joke, boss, but I know I had to throw it in there. It was too funny.
To me, it's not. It is funny. But to me, how we always talk about Asar's in his head. Like that's just another example of being in your head too much of like worrying about what you're saying out loud. But it is funny and like it's not that it's not my favorite kind of joke. Just for me, sometimes I'm like, that wouldn't even come to my mind until you
okay.
Until you said pause. Just like this, like you just said, you made it worse by being like, whoa. Like if you just said like, I want the biggest thing, man, I want the trophy.
Right.
Then it wouldn't, I'd be like, yeah. So, but just it was funny.
Yeah.
It's just so, I mean, my favorite quote from him is still like, no more pictures, grandma, no more pictures.
Oh, that was funny. Yeah. When they were feeding him, sneaking him and candy. That was
candy.
Funny. Yeah. No more pictures.
No more pictures, grandma.
Yeah. But that was funny. Asar, he had a tough matchup in Luka, man. Like that's a tough cover. That's a tough cover. But the 2 fouls, that may be the biggest thing for me, like defensively. Is we saw him get in foul trouble a lot. We knew last season, and even now, still he has a ton of potential to even be even better. defensively. But it was kind of like with JD, where it's like you play great and then you get in foul trouble and got to sit down. That happened to Asar a lot last year, where it's like he's playing great, get a couple steals, and he picks up a ticky-tack cheap foul, gotta go sit down. So the 2 fouls for me against Luka, and it wasn't just him, it was a lot of guys by committee. You gotta guard him by committee. But I thought as the on-ball primary defender, you can't ask for more than that. I know Luka still scored a bunch of points, but they weren't all the free throw line. They were tough shots.
Yeah.
You know that, like he shot 11 for 29 in this game.
Even Kelser said at the beginning of the show, like, he's gonna score. There's nothing you can do about it.
Exactly.
Just like there's nothing you can do about Giannis driving to the basket and getting a dunk. There's nothing you can do about Kawhi and Kevin Durant sometimes. Like, there's just nothing you can do sometimes except don't just give it to them. So
exactly.
Like you said,
He made him earn it.
Yes.
He made him earn it. And that's the biggest thing for me. He made him earn it. So, but once again, like being available on the court is because Ron Holland, who didn't play as much, or who wouldn't have played as much had he not been in foul trouble, he didn't play much at all. He didn't play that much in this game at all because of the foul trouble. Some of the fouls are bad, not fair, but still, this is more so a credit to Asar, who played heavier minutes as a starter, not being in foul trouble against one of the most, proficient elite offensive players in the league. That's great. So go ahead.
I was gonna say he took a blindside screen from LeBron, which LeBron had the nerve to be like, "What do you mean?" It's like his head wasn't even turned yet. You can't do that. Just like in football, you can't just
block it back,
blindside him. Yeah. Yep. And then later on, he just ran into Ayton, and I'm not sure if that. I mean, I'm not mad at a no call, but it affected him. Like he hurt. So he looked more. He was on the. How Ron's always on the ground because of screens. Asar was taking the fruit of that tonight. So
exactly what Ranger said. I saw one play where LeBron bump played on Asar. Although after that, Asar made LeBron dwindle trying. So like I'm not mad at it, boss, just because they were calling it both ways. Like I was like, bro, where's the foul? But I'm like. They let a few go on the other side. So at least if it's going to be that way, as opposed to they're calling everything, fine. Swallow the whistle. We'll take it. We'll take it on the chin because we're going to play this way all game. We don't know if they're going to do that. So, yeah, offensively was a struggle. I ain't going to lie. Offensively was a struggle. We see you said it already, but the Lakers, they're like a lot of teams, they funnel the ball back to him off of the swing. When the ball's moving well, and you got guys chasing, swing, and then it comes back to the last guy oftentimes is Asar. And that's what they want. That's why we see it happening over and over again. If he had a jump shot consistently, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't be able to.
Better.
It is getting better. It's getting better. So I'm not mad about it. It's just something that we got to deal with because he's so good defensively. I am going to hope that he's able to come along offensively, even if it is slower than what we want. But what he's giving us defensively, he's got to kind of deal with it for now. I mean, it hurts. It's tough, but we're still getting wins, and he's still holding guys like Luka to 11 for 29 shooting. So it's like. That's the offset. That's the offset. He doesn't have a ton of offense, but Luka scoring points is more important than Asar scoring points. So if Asar can make it tough for him, 100%. That's essentially how Asar is scoring points.
100%. And I do think, that they were talking about, because we saw Asar try to take some shots earlier this year and it was all about arching. And now I think he has kind of a laser shot, which does go in on the free throw line. It does go in. So for me, it's more about elevating. Like instead of maybe working on your arch, just work on your shot as you comfortably take it, but elevate. Because if he can jump high. We've seen it. We've seen him jump high for his jump shot. So when he jumps up, and if it's more of a laser, then that kind of makes up for the lack of an arch because it's still above everyone else. So now they're, I think they're just going to figure out how he's most comfortable shooting and not necessarily try to force a new or a different type of form on him. So I think that's something that he'll work on. I think we'll be able to at least rely on it a little bit better next season. But I do like that he is getting it up there. He's just kind of the same thing with Ron. Like if Ron's shooting threes and Asar is shooting jump shots, then I need better rim presence for the opportunity for an offensive rebound. But yeah, not mad about it. And if they he also missed the dunk tonight, which sucked. So still a couple for offense. I just want him to work on just making sure he can finish at the rim. I think that's the first goal. It's just finish at the rim when you're that close. Whether it's, I appreciate him going for a dunk because it feels like he rarely does. Even aggressive.
Exactly. So, right. You're right. We can't complain when he's trying to go around and then when he tries to go, he misses. It's like, okay. All right. Yeah. That's growth. We'll take it. Like Duncan says, look at the growth. Right. So we'll take that. Right. Yeah. For me, I just want to see him kind of develop the Just because he had a few tonight, it just didn't fall. It's like you got to knock those down. We need those in there, like kind of like how Jaden McDaniels does for the T-Wolves. I want to see him just try to develop something. Start there because he was never really a great shooter, even coming out of Washington when he played with Stu. He was solid, but he never was a 3-point threat. He's working his way right now in year 4, 5, 6 to get there. But he came in and worked on the midi and was consistent there as a great defender, and then worked his way out. So for me, just work your way out slowly. Develop some kind of consistency from somewhere on the court, and then branch out.
Exactly.
So, exactly. Alan Boss says, Deuce and Boss, are the Pistons capable of taking it up another notch at playoff time? And if so, what might that look like? Well, I'll say this. That's a great question. I think this period right now will enable us to be able to go up another notch because we don't have Cade and because other guys have to step up. I said the last show when you weren't here, Boss. I may have said a few shows back too. I always go back to Peyton Watson for the Nuggets, who was not known to be a scorer. I think you mentioned he averaged 3 points in college, was never known to be a scorer, defensive guy. Joker goes down for a few months this year, and Peyton Watson has the keys offensively along with Jamal Murray, and he just starts having an all-star stretch. Like he can do this and this and this. So now when he comes back, because he's injured now, when he comes back, he's gonna have he's back now. Okay, you just saw him, right? Okay. So now it's like we're gonna see a different version of him because of what he was allowed to do without the main guy there. And I think that's gonna be the case for guys like Dana Jenkins, who we both thought could do it, but now he's getting an extended stretch to be able to work his way into doing that consistently. So I think when we get Cade back, when we get Stu back, when we have our whole squad back, other guys are going to have more confidence because of this period right now when we need them to step up. So that's the next level I think we'll get to when we're healthy. Alan,
and I agree with that interpretation, absolutely. But I don't necessarily think about it as taking it up a notch. I think about it as getting back to our defensive form that we were at probably pre-deadline, pre-All-Star break sort of thing. Like tonight, again, we looked more defensively intact, I feel like, than we have lately. And a lot of that is because of having to go through a 12, 13-man rotation, trying to figure out things for the playoffs. So while you said it's definitely going to be beneficial for some of these guys that have a little bit more leeway to contribute to this team and help them grow for us and just make us deeper, is also, I think, just getting back to our defensive form that we were at for the first, half of the season, 2/3 of the season. And then just, I think we've developed a little bit more comfortably in some offensive areas for some guys that's also is going to help us propel us. So I think it's going to help us so I think it's kind of both. It's getting back to what made us great, the best in the East in the first place, which is our defense and our good defensive rotations. And then also, like you said, just continuing to grow our depth and seeing what these guys can contribute before playoff time.
Facts. So it could be a blessing in disguise. Cade comes back. He's got plenty of rest. Stu's got plenty of rest. We're healthy. As long as those guys are able to have more rest than rust when they return, Alan, I think the two things we just highlighted will be very important. Well, that's a great question. That's a really good question that you asked. So we appreciate you as always, Alan. All right, boss. Let's keep it pushing, man. Let's go now to Uncle T, Tobias Harris, guys. Tobias Harris in this game finished with 14 points on 5 of 14 shooting, 2 of 5 from 3, 2 of 3 from the line, 7 boards. There that is again. 5 assists and 1 turnover. That's great. 1 steal and 2 blocks for 3 stocks, which is also great. In 32 minutes. 32 minutes, boss. What did you see from Uncle T in this game?
Yeah, a couple of his missed shots were definitely early in that first quarter when nothing was going in for either
The corner.
team.
He missed 2 corner threes. I'm like, bro.
But then he made his third.
He did.
Much more fluid after that.
Yeah.
The reason I liked him on our poll tonight for X Factor is just because he made, once again, clutch shots and clutch moments. He cut runs with his shots. He got us up by 2 possessions late in the game with his shots. He still, no matter who's defending him, and I think tonight it was definitely showed more because they had to come double him. Like when he was in the post and he would back down. I love that he's like backing down LeBron. He's like, yeah, I know you, LeBron. I've been in the league for almost as long as you have. Not quite, like half the time, but back in more than anyone else on the Pistons team, that's for sure. But backing him up, and Ayton had their center had to come over and help, and he was able to either drop it low or he's still, no matter who's defending him, is still getting those post up shots because that's what he's most confident. And he just goes on streaks, and I don't mind that at all because they're never necessarily super off. A couple were in and out. It just makes it, when the more consistent it is, again, then teams are forced to double him, which opens up someone else, and he had 5 assists, which is the second most tonight. And that's just for reasons of like getting in the post and everything and finding the open guy. So I super appreciate everything he did. The 2 blocks is huge as well. I don't see those. Or I don't recall them. Do you recall them?
His blocks?
Yeah.
Not offhand.
So that just shows me that again that he was just doing, just down low, and again crashing the boards was huge.
Yeah.
Let me see his.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember now. That's a good question. Do you guys remember his blocks? Because I don't recall the blocks.
And then he had 7 rebounds. Wow. That's just another thing that again we've talked about. That's the second most also. He has the second most rebounds and second most assists. That's just showing that, and still 14 points. Like we talked about this, we reiterated it since Kate, whenever there's an injury on the team, he just steps up where it's needed. With Stu, it's the rebounds. With Cade, it's the assists. With both of them out, it's both. He just wants to be that steady vet presence out there. So I super appreciate that from him. And of course, 5 of 14 isn't the best, but we know that when he doesn't have great shooting nights, he makes that up for it in other ways, which he obviously did tonight. And then that shot, just like now, I won't be surprised if he shoots, closer to 65-70% next game, because that's just kind of how this game goes.
Yeah, Chris said half court menace.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's been kind of trying to, get them tires kind of rolling in the break lately too. But he definitely is. He's great in half court.
One more mention, that dunk. Oh my God, when he just went through everybody and he missed the dunk. I was
hoping he was
If he made that, and I think I told you this, but if he made that, if I was JJ Redick, I would have just been like, just pack it up.
Just call it night, bro. You got Uncle T. Yeah. Uncle T like postering you, bro. It's one of those games.
It would have just absolutely, I think Devin said it too, because Devin was at the game, that the whole crowd just like would have went, this like kind of was like ready to explode, and they were just like, oh man, and it ended up I think in a 3-point basket by Jenkins anyways, so it still ended on a good note. But that dunk, like that would have been like a top 10 play for me this year if Tobias drove it down the lane and got
that'd have been a bigger story than the win.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. Seriously. But for me, it's just the same thing we've said. Swiss Army knife. Swiss Army knife. Whatever you need him to do, he can do it. He's a versatile player. He's not the greatest defender, but he can still strap up and give you effort. He can get on the boards. I was saying, boss, like even the start of last season, before his offense came around, when he first got here, he was on the boards. He would have games where he had like 6 points, 7, 8 points. He's got 10 rebounds. So while he was waiting for his offense to come around, he was still finding ways to be impactful on the basketball court. And that's important. That's important. So for me, that's the biggest thing, is that he, as a vet, kind of knows how to get in where he fits in. Whatever the game calls for, he can do it. He can go grab some rebounds. He can go do it. He can go box out and help the helper. He's getting better at that. He can go get a bucket for you in the ISO because the offense is stagnant. We're not getting stops defensively. He can do that too. So once again, and then the playmaking, 5 assists and 1 turnover, those are point guard numbers. Those are like Dana Jenkins numbers. Yeah. Right. So once again, just finding ways to be impactful. However the game needs him to do it, he's able to do it. And the defensively on LeBron, man, he's always kind of gotten up for LeBron. When he was back playing with Orlando years ago, before he even came here the first time, he was getting into it with LeBron. When we played them in the playoffs, him and Stanley Johnson were getting into it with LeBron in 2016. Like, and even now, like he's always had a boulder chip on his shoulder when it came to playing against LeBron. He made LeBron jam one of his fingers when LeBron tried to post him, and he got in there and swiped it away, and LeBron was like this, mess all mad because his finger got jammed. Like he's just fine. He just finds ways to be impactful. So once again, I just love the effort. I love the effort that he provides.
LeBron is like, to me, the boy who cried wolf with some of these injuries. Every injury, he hits his elbow, he's down, his finger, his head, and then he's back in 5 minutes later. Yeah, exactly. It's like
look, he's my GOAT, but I still gotta call it like I see it. It's funny sometimes.
And that's just kind of because you asked me, who has signature flop moves, and right now I think it's just LeBron. Just really, like, if he gets hurt, he just really plays into it.
He does.
just kind of sees what happens. But it's just like, but I also say like just like Brunson always has ankle problems. Always. He's always running back to the locker room with ankle problems. You're just like, oh no, Brunson in the locker room. And it comes like when I see LeBron leave the floor, I'm not like I assume he's coming back. That like, he's just kind of like the boy who cries wolf in that sense. But
he's learned how. I feel like he's. I just feel like he's learned how to real quick. I feel like he's learned how to adapt his game because we've even said about Cade, like maybe Cade needs to start flopping. He ain't getting no calls. Like so it's like I think he's because when he first came in, he wasn't doing that. When he first came into the league, the game wasn't like that. You didn't see him flopping. He was playing through contact. But the game has changed. It's an advantage for you not to do so. So I don't like it. I ain't gonna lie. I don't like it. Honestly, I don't even think he likes it. Yeah. I just think he understands that's what he has to do in this day and age to help him be successful. Because he didn't always play like that. Came into the league. If you guys look at old footage from the early 2000s all the way through 2010 and all that, he wasn't doing that. The league wasn't built like that. It's just like now it's a thing where it's like, all right, they getting away with it. All right, let me see what I can get away with.
They said that it's LeBron's thing. That LeBron brought it to the league.
No, well, they obviously haven't been around long enough to remember. Anybody who says that exposes themselves. Who is they? I want to know who the they is.
They said it's like
the
LeBron.
They is probably just going through puberty. Because for those who remember, he didn't do that. Nobody did that. Kobe wasn't doing that. Vince Carter wasn't doing that. T-Mac wasn't. Those guys wasn't doing that back then.
Who brought it?
No, he didn't bring anything. Okay. If you see, this tells me you weren't around enough. That's all. He just don't remember.
I'm just saying.
You don't remember when he first came in.
Who brought it? I didn't say that he did. I said who did.
Oh, you said who brought it?
Yeah.
I thought you said he brought it. No. I don't know. That's a good question. Who's the first person you guys can remember who started flopping consistently in the league? Like back in the early 2010s or before that. I'm trying to think of who actually. Ginobili. Ginobili used to flop all the time.
They probably Chris Paul too. Harden.
Chris Paul is another one. He used to do it all, even though he complains now about it, which is crazy. But yeah. So anyway.
But yeah, I do agree. I just think like that's just kind of his thing, but a jammed finger is no joke. Like I don't disagree that he did jam his finger. He just does, like you said, like we've seen him do the poke away. It's like when he falls.
He does.
It's just like every game now it seems like he hurts himself to the point of like, is he okay? Oh, Paul Pierce. Yeah.
I used to hate that. Oh my God, playing them in playoffs. Tayshaun Prince would play great defense on him. Every time he wouldn't be able to get by him. Here's Paul Pierce throwing it. Oh my God. Yes, that's triggering. I could not stand Paul Pierce.
Yeah.
Stand Paul Pierce. Anyway, yes, y'all get it. Yeah. Paul Pierce. Yes, Mashad, you get it. Ginobili, James Harden, Gilbert Arenas. Yes, those are the originators of all that mess.
Anderson Varejao, but that was a teammate.
Oh my lord. Oh my God, Anderson Varejao. Anyway, Joakim Noah. Yeah.
Oh my God, I could.
Y'all get it. Yeah.
As someone from Chicago, everyone in Chicago loves him, and I'm like, how? Why?
Not a fan.
No,
not a fan. Reggie Miller kicking that leg out.
Yeah.
And they changed the rule for him. He was kicking his leg out, drawing fouls. Now it's an offensive foul. Thankfully. Yeah. So it's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Paul Pierce for sure, Aaron. Yeah. All right, boss. Anything else on Uncle T?
Nope. Just another just study the Swift's knife game from like he's just
Swiss
Army knife. Just a great. It's just so nice that. I look back at times like these again. We talked about it a little bit. I don't want to get into it more, but when he was kind of the name coming in at deadline of moves to make, if we did make a move, would he be the first to go, or would he be packaged up like that? Mm-hmm. And just with guys like Cade out, I'm just so happy, and Stu, like I'm so happy that we have him on our team as a guy who is consistently available to do what is asked of him and what we need, what we're lacking.
Yeah, it's worked out for the team that he's still here.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like these 2 years, he's really helped these guys just kind of grow up, just kind of expedite their experience in the league and help them grow up. So yeah, he's been invaluable on and off the court since he's been here. Maybe even more off the court than on the court. So, all right, guys, we'll leave it there. Let's move on to JD in this game, guys. Jalen Duren finished with 20 points on 5 for 9. Wow, 20 points on 9 shots is ridiculous. But here's why: 10 for 10 from the free throw line. That's what I'm talking about, bro. This is, bro, man. Okay, I'll hold it. 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 turnovers in 33 minutes, and it felt quiet. And we'll get to that. Go ahead, boss. What did you see tonight from JD?
Agreed. The 33 minutes just felt quiet. He wasn't when he did get the ball in the post, I feel like he did a good job against Ayton. He was a kind of the victim of Jackson Hayes a couple times tonight, which honestly he shouldn't be. I think I told you, Jackson Hayes, Vanderbilt, LaRavia, they all look like they have rocks in their brain or in their head and replacing They just look like they just stare into the distance.
They're in the headlights. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just
I see
there
that too.
to see, like, maybe LeBron will give me the ball, you know? So, but I will say, like, 4 blocks from Jackson Hayes. He's usually the guy that I would least expect to do that. But anyways, would have liked to see some kind of stock from JD when you're kind of our main big guy to get in there and help out in that area, but cannot complain. Like 5 of 9, like that's the thing is like 55% shooting has been like his lowest. He's been averaging close to 80% and 25 points a game, but 55 on 5 from 9 is beautiful.
Yeah,
like that's awesome.
That's excellent.
It's
That's
different.
excellent.
If it's like 11 from for like, 22 is still good.
Yeah.
But like this just speaks, it's 5 of 9 speaks a lot to the kind of game that JD had tonight, what he was forced, they basically our job was to slow down Luka, and we did, even though he scored 30 points. Guys, he's been averaging over 40 points. That's been Luka's average in this 9-game winning streak that they've had. We kept him under his average.
Yep.
And so I think that their goal was just like, just don't let Jalen Duren get it. Don't let him get it. And then JD eventually understood that role, started just setting screens for guys, started helping moving the ball. He still played a role out there. Obviously, he didn't just stand in the basket because he didn't get any 3 seconds, or 5 seconds there offensively. Right. So, but yeah, like you mentioned already, 10 for 10 from the free throw line. I mean, it's just beautiful because it's like, that's exactly when 5 of 9, but because also they had to foul him to slow him down and to stop him in opportunities. And he just made up for that in ways, someone mentioned earlier that Duncan had a really good foul on Ayton because Ayton's a 61% free throw shooter and only making one of those, which ended up being crucial. He made 2 later on, which is good for him.
Barely.
But, barely. But to have a guy that we can rely on to get to we've talked about it too, like the Knicks, like with Mitchell Robinson, he can't necessarily be a starting center for them because it's just it's just the hack of Mitch. It's a hack of Shaq. You can't do it to Duren. You can't do it if he's putting up. He usually puts up closer to 80%. We've seen him get as low as 60, like 66% is kind of his normal lately. It feels like that's the more shots he's taking. But to make 10 of 10, I mean, I couldn't even predicted that tonight.
Yeah, the last 3 games, 7 for 9, 8 for 10, 10 for 10.
Beautiful.
Like, so, and that's one thing I've been on him about since last year. I just said it in the last show. Like, he started off last year shooting 58%. He went like 2 months after that where he shot 85%. Literally flipped it from 5.8 to 8.5. So when I saw that, I'm like, and when I saw it over a bigger sample size, I'm like, okay, he's shown he's got touch, but now he's actually going to the line and knocking him down consistently. And I've seen him at LCA pregame warm-ups, just knocking him down. So we know he can do it. He's got the touch. But it's like you always say. I always talk about how when you get fouled, there's still things like the bonus that help you. There's still things like getting guys in foul trouble that help you. But the points, they're free.
Yes. Yeah.
You got to knock the free throws down, especially when you're as dominant as you are. What up, Pop? Especially when you're as dominant as you are in the paint. You're going to be at the line when you're getting, because he's going to start getting more respect. He's an all-star now. He's shown how efficient he can be, right? He's going to start garnering more respect. So now it's like, once you get it, you got to go to the line and knock him down. And you got to be able to play in late game situations. Otherwise, they'll heck commit you, like you were just saying. So it's just like, you got to be able to do it. That's why the 20 points came so quietly. Because half of them came from the line. Yeah. He only took 9 shots. He made 5 of them. That's 10 points. The other 10 came from the free throw line. So once again, and this wasn't even a great game for him, but for him to still get a 20-10 game in a bad game, it's because he's knocking down his free throw. It's because he's just locking in and taking what's there. So that to me is, it makes me so happy because I knew he's been able to. I know he can do this. Yeah. I know he can do this consistently. We talked about this all year long. So for him to start getting more attempts and not to start knocking them down more is important. But you said it though. The Lakers tried to take him away. They tried to pack the paint and make everybody else beat him. That's why I mean, I don't blame him because I wouldn't trust DeAndre Ayton and Jackson Hayes to guard him straight up either.
I don't. It's why they want him. It's like they're gonna they put the guys on him and they're gonna come for JD. They're gonna come for JD and be like,
They're gonna throw the bag at him.
I think that my theory is that they're gonna, because I think LeBron's gonna go to the Cavs next year, and I think they're gonna try to get Mobley. That's my theory.
Oh, the Lakers?
Yeah.
Wow. That'd be interesting.
They gotta pay some people on the Cavs.
Yeah, they do, and they're getting older. They're getting older. Interesting. You could be right. One thing that I've noticed too, we talked about LeBron earlier. Whenever he's playing against, like, at least for our team, that has a dominant big man that can rebound the basketball, LeBron is always on the glass. He's always crashing the glass, trying to tip the ball out, trying not to allow, like, helping the helper type stuff. Even when he's not even the designed helper, he's always just trying to crash the glass because he knows about our bigs. So he's been doing it forever. He did it against the Pistons in 2007, 2006 when we played against him. When we had Ben Wallace, he was always trying to crash the glass, trying to keep Ben off the board. Same thing 10 years later with Andre Drummond. When we played him in 2016, he was always crashing the glass, trying to get Drummond off the board, just tapping the ball out so Drummond can't get to it. Same thing now 10 years later. Same thing with JD in 2026, trying to crash the glass. So he's always been aware of how dominant our big men were. And so it's just interesting. Even now at 40 years old, he's like, we can't let them dominate us on the glass, bro. Because like we could have, but you could see as a team, they were all, because JD was fighting by himself in there a lot, trying to keep the ball, but they would just come up with it because they had more bodies around.
I just want to say real quick too, just looking at stats, JD did have the most rebounds of the game, even though
he did.
Even though the
Despite
Lakers rebounded us in total. Yeah. So
exactly. So that's effort on his part. Because when he's in the trees, a lot of time by himself in there and he's still coming up with boards, that's effort, bro. You got guys in there grabbing you. He's not flopping. He's legit getting fouled in there, but he's still going up and going and getting it. So the effort is there, man. The effort on both sides is there. He didn't have a blocker steal tonight, but he's had a string of games where he's had like 5, 6, 7 games in a row. He's had at least one. So yeah, I thought he was really, really good in a quiet game from him. And then defensively, like a lot of stuff that doesn't show up. The last play of the game, defending Luka without fouling. On that last play, when a lot of guys have gotten caught in the air and had a shot knocked down on them and had a 4-point play or something crazy. So once again, just growing defensively as well, just moving his feet, but not being but playing disciplined at the same time. Because Luka's got range from everywhere. Like you got to step back like 5, 6 feet behind the line for it to be a good contest. So it's hard when that's the case to not jump. So for him to be able to jump and not foul shows me another progression for him defensively in late game situations. That's why these moments are so important for this team, to be able to have these moments in clutch situations as a young team and get wins. So yeah, JD was great, man. JD was great. And lastly, on the defensive part, he had a really important play in that fourth quarter.
Yes.
You guys probably saw it. Defensively though, Javonte Green got erased on a screen. It should have been an offensive foul on LeBron James, on LeBron.
Yep.
LeBron was moving screen, erased Javonte Green. Javonte Green goes to the floor. Now you got LeBron and I think Jackson Hayes on the lob. And JD's trying to guard too because Javonte Green can't rotate to JD's guys. So now JD's trying to guard. He guards both well. He anticipates the lob and he knocks it away. LeBron could have went for a floater. He could have baited JD in more and go for the lob, but JD played that perfectly. Guarding the ball and guarding the guy behind you, your man, and knocked it away. So once again, his IQ defensively, his instincts defensively are getting better too. It's not just the points and all that stuff. It's the defense. His discipline guarding Luka. Exactly. That's what we were just saying, bro. The same thing. His defense and his discipline has been much, much better, Heisenberg, across the board. So he's 22 years old.
Yeah.
And he's already making a lot of strides on both sides of the ball, being a great two-way big man. So JD, man, against a really good team, stepped up. So I have no notes for JD that are negative. When I saw 10 for 10, I was like, okay, I ain't gonna have nothing negative to say.
And again, 5 for 9, and they were all contested because he got to the free throw line because of those contests, and he probably could have gotten to the free throw line even more. They just could not stop him, and even the ones that he did make, they were just really nice moves around Ayton, around Hayes. And the thing is, what I see, and I've said this before too, is like you said, he's only 22 and he has so much room to grow, and he wants to. I think that Ayton's older, but Hayes is young. But I think both of those guys are content with where they're at because they're playing with two superstars, 3 very good players if you throw in Austin Reeves. So I think that they're just chill. I think that's why Jackson Hayes had a smile on his face all night when I'd be like, why? But I think like Duran's gonna pass them. I think he's already passed them, but then he's just gonna continue to grow with these guys that are gonna become a little bit more stagnant or secure in their game. And it's just scary time for the league when that happens for JD. Like if you got a big that can make his free throws and has footwork and could develop. We know that he has a nice turnaround floater shot. And then if he can develop a mid-range and he's out there not leaving his feet on defense and he's giving you problems at the perimeter and he's giving you problems in the paint.
And he's this much old.
And and I bet he gets even bigger. I bet he gets bigger.
He's gonna get stronger. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Even if he don't get bigger, like he's gonna get stronger. He hasn't even come close to developing his man.
Well, do you know how
man body yet?
He didn't come into the league as skinny as Giannis did, but Giannis has like just continued. Like I think there's just like one more level of muscle to JD. Still.
Could be because when he came in, he was. You're right. He wasn't a skinny. Giannis was a twig when he first came in.
Yeah.
JD wasn't that. Like he was still like chiseled. Like he wasn't as round or as broad as he is now, but he was always chiseled. So I can see him adding a little bit more muscle.
Yeah.
And getting much more strength when he gets to his grown man body around 29, 30. That's 7 years away, which is crazy to say.
and now this is 2 seasons in a row where we've seen him finish the season much more improved in areas than he started. Like last season, he had a slower start and he admitted that and got better. And this season, he didn't have a slow start or anything. But when we're like 20-10 games are the norm, and now 30-10 games are becoming the norm. So, 20-10 games, I was begging for him from the beginning of the season, and now it's like
7 bad games now.
The bare minimum of him. Yep. Like you said it tonight, a quiet game was still 20-11. So.
Yeah. Good stuff from JD, man. Jay said JD is Hercules and he's still growing. He's 22. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all get it, man. All right, boss, let's go to some reserves and then we can call it a night. I agree, Clara. One of the best to date. All right, boss, let's go to Kevin Huerter first.
Okay.
Kevin Huerter, guys, in this game finished with 7 points on 3 for 6 shooting, 1 of 3 from 3, a board, and 3 assists to no turnovers and 2 steals in 20 minutes. Boss, take off on what you saw from Kevin Huerter tonight.
Yeah, he hit his first 3 attempts of the game. It was a nice one. It was a nice step back. Everybody was pumped for him. And I was excited. He only went 1 for 3, but I'm cool with that. I think that especially in 21 minutes, he maybe could have gotten a couple more up, but he was just moving so much off ball just to help keep the ball moving. I'm not mad at it at all. He had that steal and a layup. That's another pick 6 for him. He did that layup through a lot of contact. Like he was kind of getting bumped and nudged. Yeah. It wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy path. He had that dunk, obviously, that should have gotten and that was separate.
That was crazy.
Yeah. That should get a foul on Reeves. Like for those, it's happened a couple times. I just think like dunks. I've seen it in Nuggets games too. Like if a guy hit, like that's almost just too obvious. Like it's just too obvious not to call. Like I get letting some stuff slide, but if you are body a guy in the air, it's like okay,
come on, bro. Yeah.
But and then he had a passing lane steal, a LeBron passing lane steal. But LeBron is such a good facilitator and passer. Like he doesn't necessarily give up those kind of turnovers. So for Kev to read that so well, or LeBron underestimated that aspect. He just played physically. He played physically on both ends too. Yes, 2 steals is huge. 3 of 6 overall is beautiful. I know he's only 1 of 3 from 3, but that's what you asked from him. And of course, you like to see him closer to like 10, 12 points, which he could have gotten tonight with a little bit more time, I think. Yep. He also played more than LeVert, which we've been talking about. It was kind of between him, LeVert, and Sass for shooting guard. LeVert did have more points than him. Well, Boyd had more points, rebounds, and assists from him, but I think Huerter had the better overall game.
I felt like
minutes for the full time. Like LeVert had a great first half, and Huerter stayed great consistently throughout.
I felt like he played better this game.
Yeah,
I felt like it's just because I think he's a better fit though. That's really all it comes down to. I just think he's a better fit for this team. Like he's just a connector of what you want to do. He just encourages exactly what you want to do in the basketball court. Just the plays that he makes. We talked about it already, but the DHO slip pass to Reed, the same way we saw Duncan Robinson do it with Azar Thompson. He just makes the right play. He had a nice overhead pass to JD for an easy layup, right? Not fancy, just a simple play. So
And he doesn't seem to get himself into trouble. Did he have any turnovers today? No.
no,
He doesn't get
no.
himself
So
into trouble with that. And I will give, like, LeVert is playing out of position again because he's now our second ball handler with Cade and Sass out. And he did have a good game. I'm still happy with LeVert's output today. But it's like you said, Herter it looks a lot smoother. You trust him out there. Even if he's not getting up threes, you're cool with it because it seems like he touches the ball every possession. And then he just decides to continue to move it or pull up and make the right call. Like that just goes into decision making. Again, that's not just forcing himself into a 3-point shot because that's what he thinks the team needs. He plays into what the team is doing and adjusts in that aspect. He kind of adjusts in real time to what we need. So
yeah, he plays like a robot. Like based on what he sees, he just reacts to it. There's no thinking. There's nothing tied to it. It's just like, what's the next play? That's the next play. I'm making the next play. Mm-hmm. So, but the biggest thing for me is just, what is that, velvet? The biggest thing for me is just he's not hesitating to shoot the basketball at all. He's just catching and rising, like how Duncan is doing. It's almost like they had a conversation like, bro, we need y'all to shoot, bro. Like, you guys are the snipers on this. You guys are the shooters. I won't say snipers. You guys are the shooters. You were brought here to do a lot of things, but we need you to shoot the ball. Yeah. And even though he hasn't been shooting the ball, he's still been playing well. But that's what we need him to do. Right. We need him to move without the basketball and make the right pass. But shoot the ball, man. Make the defense move like Eric always says. So that's my biggest thing is just he's continuing to get him up. I don't care if they don't fall. Just that's what you're on the court to do. Make the defense identify and react to you. So, and then defensively too, like he's doing a good job of just staying in front of guys. I mentioned the play with Austin Reeves, where Austin Reeves picked the ball up and tried to force the ref into call an offense or a foul, then go for it. I like how he's playing defense. I think he's an underrated defender. Yeah, you don't see him really getting picked on. You don't see him blowing assignments. He has a high IQ as a defender as well, and he's got some bounce to him. So, like, once again, we got a lot of guys on this team who can do a little bit of everything.
Right, and that's
a lot of guys like that, and he's one of those guys.
Sorry, Michael says here too, LeVert is better than Herter at some things. Herter is better than LeVert at some things. True. This is where I disagree with you. It's not a competition for one spot. Right now it is.
I think it is.
Right now it is. If it's a 10-man lineup in the playoffs, right now it is a competition for one spot. I think that we will be flexible. I'm not saying that both of those guys, like if we go with LeVert, that Herter is not going to see the floor at all and vice versa. But I think they are going to try to make it a little bit more consistent. So I do think it's a competition for that backup shooting guard spot right now.
Yeah, I agree because the rotation shortens in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You're not going to be playing 12 guys in the playoffs.
I want to. It would be nice.
Yeah, but it just doesn't happen that way. And so like it's going to be more uniform once you get to the playoffs. And I think right now, I'm not trying to make it a battle, but I do think this may be something of a battle between who's going to be the primary backup and who's going to be the insurance backup.
Yeah.
That's literally what I think. I think right now Kevin Herter is, in my opinion, is probably going to be the primary backup. And Karis LeVert is going to be the insurance backup if there is foul trouble or if somebody goes down. You have him there and ready. That's kind of how I see it as of right now.
And also, and that's what, Chris says too, I still think we need a 12-man rotation. And because that's our MO. Yeah, I agree because I want to see B-ball, Paul. If LeVert and Herter are both doing well, I want to see them both. So, but I think it'll just be more in terms of we might see one more in certain matchups. It's more of like who comes down the court first, and then that's kind of where it is. Like if I feel like it's not going to be so strict as like if Herter comes on the court first and it's just not going well, the JV is not going to make that adjustment in the game. But I think it is just, they're going to go in with a plan for the 5 starters and the five second unit, and then figure it out from there. And I could also see just like, we might see something first round. And if we make it past the first round, we might see an adjustment second round based on our competition. Right. It's going to be, it's a few things, but most teams do narrow it down to 5 and 5, even the Thunder. Yeah. And then they just call on people when needed. So.
And Mike, it's good to have options because they both can play the 3, but they're not going to play most of their time there. They're only going to play the 3 if Asar Thompson and or Ron Holland are both in foul trouble. Because other than that, you're not going to need to play anybody else there at the 3. So it's like, I think in certain situations, you can go to it, but that's why I said primary. I think primarily they're going to be playing shooting guard. Question, no 12-man rotation in the playoffs. Is that an unwritten rule? It's not. It's not really an unwritten rule. It's just when you want to get into a flow state, you want to get into a rhythm. You want guys to be ready to have that rhythm of when they're going to come in, who they're going to be guarding. It gives you consistency, especially in the playoff series when you're playing the same team over and over again, playing the same guys over and over again. You're scouting them. You're learning about this individual guy. Asar Thompson, he guarded other guys last year in the playoffs, but who was his primary concern? It was Jalen Brunson. Right. And so that's kind of what it is. It's about, playing chess, making adjustments. And so I think it's just better for teams to have that consistency and that rhythm of knowing when they're going to come into the game, knowing who they're going to be guarding, knowing their role, knowing their assignment. I think that's more so what it is, as opposed to playing a regular season game where you're playing a team one time and maybe again in a few months.
And I do have to, like, some of the top teams do have the benefit and just kind of the advantage of that we could have a 12-man rotation, like the Spurs, OKC, us, like we have that depth. There's other teams like the Rockets, the Heat. There's certain teams that are kind of forced to only have a 10-man rotation. And it's a luxury that we have more, depth. And we might see that. We might see a little bit more, but there were also guys like Simone Fontecchio last year who I didn't expect to get no minutes in the playoffs, Right. So that's
even Ron didn't play a lot last year in the playoffs. They had like an 8-9 more man rotation. Yeah.
It shows me that JB does kind of believe in a shorter rotation to enter the playoffs in. But I also wouldn't be surprised if we do play a few more, because when it's beneficial, because we have that advantage. We have the depth and capability. So it's just something that, again, that we have to figure out going into the playoffs this year. This is our second time it'll be our second time in a row doing it. And I think we're definitely more prepared, but I do think it will be, like I said, there'll be certain guys that JB will want first off the bench over others. And then I'll go from there. Yeah.
And even though somebody said 04, Bad Boys did in 04. Think about 04. How many guys played? Like, you had not really. You had your starting five. You had Lindsay off the bench.
Corliss.
Mike James. You had Corliss. Mehmet Okur. And who else? That's 9 guys right there. Who else played? We didn't have McDyess yet. We had guys who could come in and play, like Darvin Ham or Eldon Campbell, but they didn't play much in the playoffs.
Eldon was pretty rotational in that, I'll say.
Not really, like in spots. 10. But that's the whole 10. Point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, right. Even if you threw Eldon in there for the mix of it, that's still 10. That's not more,
right.
So.
Right. So it's good to have it. I'm not mad about it at all. And if he decides to do it at times, I'm cool. I'm sure he understands better than we do. I'm just looking at how it usually goes, but who knows? Who knows? It's a luxury to have. It's a good problem to have. So we'll leave it there, guys. Boss, let's move on to Karis LeVert. Karis LeVert in this game, guys, finished with 8 points on 3 for 7 shooting, 0 of 2 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 3 boards, 4 assists, 2 turnovers in 17 minutes. Boss, take off. What you see?
So I thought it was a good game from LeVert. The only thing that is a bummer is that when he kind of has off, it's like all at the same time. Like his turnovers also come on his empty possessions. Like 3 of his missed shots were 3 possessions in a row. And I think he was just trying to get back. And that was in the second half. And then, of course, and then he turned it over on the other end. Like, it just seems like all the negative things happen at once. So it's just like more like memorable. Like, come on, Karis. But he had some really big he did have a clutch basket in the second to get the lead back up to 8. I'm sorry, the third. In the third, he had a clutch basket to lead back up to 8. Otherwise, the rest of his points were all floaters in the first half, and they looked good. They were all like, they're just shots I haven't seen him take a lot. I feel like he's been forcing like higher mid-range or threes. And again, he went 0 for 2 from 3, which I'm not mad about because, he didn't go 0 for 5 from 3. And I do appreciate the shots that he did take. I think no one was really expecting his throw, though. When he came on the floor, I was like, who is that? Like, it was the last thing I expected.
So let me just say this real quick. I thought Ben Wallace was, I thought Karis LeVert was solitary. Tell me that head shape and that throw, the way the trajectory of how that throw was looking, the complexion, the facial expression, the head shape. That's Ben Wallace right there.
Legit. I know. Somebody said it didn't look like his Ben Wallace's afro at all. I was like, what are you talking? But he stepped on. I was like, did we go back in time?
Bro, even though he was running, like, because, Ben had that jerk to him when he ran. Karis got that same one jerk to him.
Yeah. It was just like, I don't know why. Like, I guess I just haven't seen him with that before.
I haven't either. I like that.
Maybe his hair just wasn't that long if he hasn't had it in braids before, but I just haven't seen it. So it surprised me. I was really like, who is that? Like,
yeah, that threw me off too.
It did look just like you could honestly just probably swap it with Ben Wallace's hair and it would
Mhm.
match, you know.
It would match.
It was
It's
pretty funny.
crazy how like,
Um,
especially from a distance, like when they zoom in, you can obviously see, but like when you're watching like from the regular view, it's like,
and he's small.
why is
Yeah,
Ben
he's
so short? I know
yeah.
Ben ain't that tall, but what's Ben doing out there?
What's
Time
he's
capsule or
skinny.
something.
But yeah, it was pretty funny. But yeah, I did appreciate his production in the first. He had some good looks under the basket as well to guys. Again, that's where his assists usually come from.
Yep.
And I'm not mad at 3 for 7 either. Like Herter was 3 from 6, so
That's
it's just
solid.
okay that Karras just got one more shot up. His defense was good. 3 rebounds is huge. Whenever a guard can get, you know, more than 2 rebounds, I'm thrilled. So yeah, just kind of just like faded in the second half, but I don't think he played much in the fourth. And again, he only played 17 minutes, so he played a lot in the first half. Because that's why Danis was having a game and played 39 minutes. I do appreciate from coach because we've seen guys kind of get subbed out when they're hot for rest.
Yeah.
I think I'm sure that he talked to Danis and Danis just like, no, I want to keep playing. It's just when you can see a guy, these young guys, if the older guys and the vets can play, you know, over 40 minutes a game in big games and clutch games, then I want our young guys to do it too. So he stepped up to the moment. But I think Karras just kind of went a little bit cold second half. But like I said, he did get a clutch basket after the Lakers went on a run there and brought it within 6. And Karras got it back up to 8.
Yes,
So at least
that was
a little
a
bit
big shot.
Yes.
Big shot.
So yeah, and then 4 assists as well, most off the bench, 3rd most overall. So you want to see that most off the bench for, you know, basically our backup point guard right now. Again, he is playing, he can be a 1 and he can be a facilitator, but we've seen him do better when he's not. So he's playing a little bit out of position, but I appreciate this. And I don't know how he was last game. Did he have a good game last game?
He was solid last game.
Okay.
The last couple of games he's been solid. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Maybe
the
he
couple.
just keep this fro.
I watched some of the last game when I got home. I watched the 4th quarter because I listened to the 3rd, but I just didn't remember necessarily his impact. So
we saw some Karras and Herter minutes too. Kevin Herter minutes together. He had a nice dime for Herter for that 3 ball.
Right.
That was from Karras, right?
You're
so
right.
that was my biggest thing coming into this game. Honestly, since Kate went down, and then especially when Sass went down, I'm like, we only have 2 guys who legit can play point guard. Dana Jenkins and Karras LeVert. And I was concerned about how it was going to look. But I got to say, I'm saying this again. It's the last few times I've said this. He's impressed me with his ball security overall. I think he had 1 turnover that was really careless. But other than that, we've seen games where he's had 3 or 4. It's like, bro, what are you doing? What's going on?
Bad ones.
And
Yeah.
Like unforced errors. And now it just looks like good idea, but bad decision. Like if he made a pass a second sooner, those are a little bit different than just bouncing off your foot or just telegraphing passes. So even the turnovers look different. It's almost like he's figuring out how to be effective with the ball in his hands. Kevin said the last show, but he's not a great ball handler. He can handle the ball, but he's not a great ball handler. I think that contributes to his turnovers as well. But now he's just making better decisions. He's playing more under control, and he's not making it about him. He's moving the ball, and like I always say, he's become a cog in the system as opposed to just having guys ball watch while he tries to go one-on-one and make something happen. So I'm liking what I'm seeing, man. I'm liking what I'm seeing from him lately.
He's becoming a little bit more reliable, and I still have my hesitations at times when he's bringing the ball up. Like you said, I think he relies a lot on his jerkiness, the way that he moves, but now it's working. Like he's not necessarily over dribbling it or anything. I think he kind of makes up his mind of where to go. And I think again, just like he's had just a couple bad stretches in good games. Like today he had a good game, then had that bad stretch of 3 empty possessions in a row where he took the shot and then he had a turnover, but then he was benched. So JB sees it too. Like it's not just us. And so, and Karras knows it as well. But it is nice to see at least consistent good games, and even better than his one stretch before. It's like, yeah, Karras did a little bit better and we hope that continues. Like, no, these have been like, again, it's becoming a little bit easier to rely on him. It's not as hard when it comes up. You can still have my hesitations, like I said, but I'm not as fearful or not as, eye rolly or nervous about his production out there. So
you're not fearing his turnovers as much as you fear his throw. Is what you're saying.
Right, exactly.
Gotcha.
Oh, I love
Michael also says, I don't want to only single out Karras, but he was one of the. I was gonna mention it. Who were the
fourth
other?
one?
Because I actually had it written down. I can't
Ron?
find it, but yeah, there were a few guys tonight that were fouling behind 3-point line. But Karras
Ron?
did too. Ron, yeah,
Dunk?
I don't even count his because he didn't even touch him, bro. That was crazy. I
I
feel like
think it was
somebody else did
Ron,
too.
Dunk, Karras, and Herter. Was Herter
Was it
the one?
Hurt? Did Herter do it? I don't remember Herter doing it. Maybe. Okay. Michael
There was
says
one that I
he
didn't
has
see. Yeah.
Karras has a 6'11" wingspan and is much harder to handle. Oh, facts. No, for sure. For sure, bro. That's what helps him defensively, low key. He's 6'6" with a 6'11", 7-foot wingspan. Like that's I always say Tayshaun Prince. I always thought he had a long wingspan for a side. He was 6'9" and had a 7-foot wingspan. So 6'6" with a 6'11" wingspan, you got some long arms, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's not the best ball handler, but it seems like they're putting him in spots to be effective much more than he was before, and he's taking advantage of that. So shout out to him, man. All right, boss. We'll see how that plays out. I still think that conversation is ongoing as far as who is going to be the primary guy off the bench, the first guy off the bench at backup shooting guard. The conversation is still ongoing. If he keeps playing this way, I think it's going to continue to be ongoing. I still want Kevin Huerter as of right now, but we'll see. We got 11 more games to figure that out.
Well, if Sass doesn't come back for a while, LeVert will be getting the minutes for that. So he has plenty of opportunity to still make an impact. And I want Sass back. I love Sass. I think he just is great offensively. I want to see him finish that season strong. But the plus side of this is that, yes, that Huerter and LeVert will both still get minutes going into the postseason, which makes it also just easier on the coaching staff to figure out what they want their second rotation to look like.
Yeah. Heisenberg says, that reminds me, does anyone have an idea what JB and LeBron are having discussed? I actually tweeted about this, bro. I tweeted this out because JB was basically calling cap on LeBron's foul.
Yeah.
When he drew that foul on 3-pointer. You should have saw the look on his face. I put it on Twitter. Y'all can check it out on Twitter. JB's looking like, nah, bro. He's looking at him like LeBron's trying to explain like what's going on. JB's just like, he said, Brian, are you sure? He said, you sure? That was funny. It reminded me from my boxing fans of Devin Haney's father when he was like, you sure? You sure?
I think it was just, it's basically him being like, I think what they were arguing about was whether it should have been a shooting foul or not.
Okay.
I think that's what
either way.
The way that Wu went in, he did make contact. It did bend LeBron in half, but then I think it was it a shot or not? Because it was after the whistle that LeBron was just kind of like, oh.
And you know what? I understand why Jay would be upset because they took like 2 or 3 of JD's away when he had an and-1 and they didn't give him continuation.
Wu is the fourth because that was a 3-point.
Devontae did? Okay.
Yeah. That was a 3-point play. That's why LeBron got to go to the line.
Right.
Wu.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, that was the sore spot for me because JD had 3 and-1s taken away tonight.
Yes.
But it just didn't give him continuation.
That's Jokic all the time because Jokic gets the ones that he gets the ones on the perimeter where he'll draw contact and he'll throw it up and he'll go in. They'll be like, that was before the shot. But today we saw it in Durant just down low, the loose ball. Tobias had one as well. Tobias had one where they were like, that was just a loose ball. Yeah. I'm familiar as a Nuggets fan with that because Jokic makes crazy air shots.
Ridiculous.
He's ridiculous. So that was kind of how LeBron should have been called. Is like, I think they were arguing more about
shooting or not.
Yeah.
Gotcha. It was funny though. Y'all go check out that replay, man. You'll see JB is not rolling at all. LeBron's explanation is funny. So we'll leave it there, man. Let's go, guys, to Ron Holland, guys. Ron Holland only played 5 minutes in this game. He had 2 points on 1 of 5 shooting, 0-2 from 3, an assist, and look cardio. And that's it. He was not able to stay on the court because of the whistle that he was getting in this game. Boss, what did you see tonight from Ron?
Yeah, he was getting frustrated. I was frustrated too, especially that third one was definitely Paul Reed. Like Paul Reed.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was wild, bro.
Paul Reed raised his hand. Like, yeah, that was me. Like, it's like they had a vendetta against Ron or something. I also want to say real quick, just while it's on the top of my mind, that JB is actually only 6 years older than LeBron.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, that's, it is like more like brothers talking. Like that's just nuts. Yep. I think Redick is younger than LeBron too. So
he is, I believe, they're the same. Yeah, I think he is younger than him.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Just dynamic.
Only GOATs can stay around that long and still be effective. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
You don't want to hear my take on that, but I still think it's just kind of crazy because like I think even when you're a little kid, you think of coaches as like older, like, you know, a pop or something, and they're all so young now. They're younger than me.
Yeah. Yeah, I
You
know.
know?
I know. I know. I know. It's
And
crazy.
and
When
stuff. It's like,
I first started watching the game, I'm like, man, he's 20 years old. That dude is
Yeah.
old, man. Now it's like these little pups, man.
yeah, right?
It's just funny how it switches as you get older. It's crazy. It's
Exactly.
crazy. Time wasting
Um,
on. Time has wings. Go ahead, boss.
But yeah, Ron, his best quarter was the third after you said he got benched. He hadn't played. He only played 4 minutes. He drove
Yeah.
it right into Luka for the score. I
That
love
was
that.
nice.
I
That was
love
nice.
it. Because this is a young guy this guy, Luka, was smiling at him for the non-foul drawn.
Yeah.
And he was, you know, Ron, as Blah said, Ron is not smiling. You know, I could just,
Yeah. He
it
wasn't
didn't
happy.
show the camera of Ron, but I'm sure it was just his. Also, good job for Ron for keeping his cool.
Facts.
Because I think that would smiling like that, it rage baits me from my couch.
Oh, for sure.
If I was in the game, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, Luka knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing.
But he drove it right into Luka for the score. And then the next play, he had a great find to JD under the rim to end the third.
Yep.
So it was a bummer he didn't get to play a lot, but he definitely would have gotten to if, you know, he didn't get the foul trouble. But this is one of the things that we talked about, the whistle for him and how he kind of gets a bad one. It's just something we're going to have to deal with in the playoffs, which is the reason why we might see 11, 12 people. It's because of
Possibly,
foul
yeah.
trouble that he gets into. So
Yeah.
not necessarily his fault all the time, but yeah, he
Facts.
did part of it. He just did stuff that he could. 1 of 5 is kind of crazy. 0 of 2 from 3. The one corner 3 looked good. I thought it was
Yeah.
gonna win, but it's
Honest,
just,
like I feel like I ain't gonna lie. Like I feel like I thought he would be further along on his jump shot this year than he is.
I just don't think he's
It's
getting
a
it.
little disappointing for me. Like
Okay.
it is what it is. But I just thought he would be close to 30% from 3 this year. It hasn't worked out that way. It's not his fault. He just can't get it to fall. He knows he's working on it. I just wish he would have been able to be a little bit more consistent this season on his 3 ball. It just
Yeah.
hasn't been there for him.
I'll just say that I don't think that he gets necessarily enough minutes or time, and he kind of forces some shots up with the limited minutes he has. Like to have 5 shots in 5 minutes is kind of crazy in itself. Especially 2 from 3. For me, it's just like a SARS. It just came down to timing again. Like there was the 1-3 was when the Lakers like cut it to 4. And I was like, this is not who I want to help. Like
Yeah.
a Ron corner 3 is not what we need right now. And it was close. And if it went in, I would have been like, okay, that was good. But I still think
Possessions.
and like this wasn't who should have ended up with the ball. You know,
Yeah.
we needed to get back into a rhythm and everything. But yeah, I'm not too mad about it. That's not something I've really thought of concern. Of course, we want that for him, but his baskets come with his defense, and when he's not able to get minutes, I don't know what he did last game, but then a couple games before, him and Wu both kind of had lower minutes because of the shooting guard dilemmas. Like just right now, it's just not a lot. And he feeds his defense feeds his offense, and you can't do much in 5 minutes, like we've talked about. So
Yeah.
just appreciate what we did see from him in the third. And you know, it only motivates him for the next one. The next game is like against the Hawks, which will definitely need some good defense against that young team, and he can redeem himself then. So, but yeah, I think it was just being tasked with Luka is such a compliment, and I think he defended well. And
2 bogus calls, man. That's crazy.
there was a couple that Luka did try to shoot over him that he missed. Like Ron did affect them. But he is an easy target for some reason in this league. And I do think if we didn't have to challenge the play before, there's a couple
that
minutes
one.
before that we did that challenge, then we would have challenged that one with Ron. But JB was trying to, this also was smart of JB, even though we ended up not being able to use a second challenge. It was smart of him to wait for that, because this was just too many times in a row now that the refs were just a little bit
Just blowing it, bro.
they had a slow-mo of JB once again being like, you gotta call that. It was after the
He was shaking his head back at him. Yeah.
it was just like, this is on you. And like he said to Mitch Irvin 2 games ago, like, Mitch, you got to get your crew together. Like,
I love that he's like that.
Always gonna say, he's not gonna complain. He's just gonna be like, call it so that we're not forced to use challenges. We're not forced to beg. Like, it shouldn't be a late whistle. It shouldn't be everyone screaming at you. That was a goaltend for you to get that.
Thank you.
That is your job. So yeah,
it ridiculous. Yeah, he doesn't give him a break. He continues to push the envelope, whether it's with officials, whether it's with other players on the other team. Like he's just not going.
Even his own players, like he's vocal about everything. He just holds everybody accountable. And I've seen people say, all JB does is whine to the refs. I think there's a difference in just asking for consistency. I never see him whine about a play that's clearly an obvious thing. He very rarely talks about how usually we don't get the benefit of the whistle when other teams do against us. He's just begging the officials to make the right call at the right time.
To be consistent.
And JJ Redick is kind of the same way. Like, I don't think that JJ complains to the refs like his players do, but he does ask the refs to call obvious things. So,
yeah. Luka is the whiner.
He's tough.
That whole team.
All
he does is whine, no matter what.
Make or miss. It's just like, oh.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. All right, guys. Let's keep pushing, man. Let's go to Javonte Savage. Can you woo Green in this game, guys? Javonte Green finished with 6 points on 1 for 1 from the field, 4-4 from the free throw line, 2 boards, 1 assist, no turnovers, and 2 stocks, a steal in the block in 15 minutes, boss. What did you see from Javonte Wu in this game? Savage.
Yeah, 100%. 1 of 1 from the field goal, 4 of 4 from free throw, a steal, a block, an assist, 1 foul, which was that LeBron one.
Wow, that was the 1 foul. That's insane.
That was the 1 foul, 2 defensive rebounds. So my only notes for him were basically just defense. He played fantastic defense. He didn't even really get up a 3 or anything, which I think he still could have sunk tonight. A good 15 minutes, and we know that he can be even more productive offensively, but also just the defensive assignments that he played, because he was on LeBron, he was on Luka. I think he did great against Luka as well. I'm actually really curious to see some of the defensive matchups tonight, because Luka, like you said, he was 11 of 29, which is 38%. He was 3 of 13. Like, perimeter is usually where Luka is deadly, and he only made 3 because of the pressure that we forced on him. We just every shot was tough. Even when he dribbled it over half court, I think we allowed 1 open shot right over half court early in the game, and then from there on, it was immediate coverage. So I'm really curious to see who did the best against him tonight. But Wu is definitely up there.
He's up there.
So just another solid show out from him. I can't even. He's just so.
What up, Chris? Mister, I really haven't been killing it, but I'm doing all right. Plus, we won again, coach. Yeah, bro. He's just a winning player, bro. Like, no point, or not even, but no threes.
What was his minutes yesterday, or not yesterday, last game? Because 15 minutes is like a lot for him since he kind of fell out.
Chad, let us know how many minutes did he play last game?
While we were looking for I
don't remember offhand.
While we were looking through the shooting guard when Sass was in, he was low. He was closer to like 3 or 5 minutes.
He played about the same amount as tonight, if I recall.
Okay. So 15 minutes is still good, but
yeah, I mean he's defensively, he's just a menace. Like, he had so many near steals in this game, like from chasing down LeBron from behind. That was my biggest thing, because he had to guard LeBron a lot in the post.
Yes. Oh yeah.
That's a tough matchup. Bron is 6'8", 260, easy, maybe even more than that. Javonte Green is like 6'5", 225, 230. So he's giving up a lot of size, a lot of height and size. Ron got the better of him once or twice, but he forced him into some tough possessions. Just being
knocking stuff away.
Just getting his hand in there without fouling. Just being really disruptive. Just trying to not allowing him to settle in that post. So I thought that was very just tough, man. Just tough. Like, it's so many people who still think he's like 6'8", because he just plays so physical, plays so strong, plays so much bigger than what he is. That's a valuable thing to have a guy. Once again, we have so many guys who have that defensive versatility, which is what Trajan always talks about. Ron, Javonte Green, Asar Thompson, Cade Cunningham. We got a lot of guys who can guard multiple positions. That's why Luka's shooting 11 for 29. Can't get a break. Whoever's guarding him is going to be a tough defender. It's going to force him into tough shots. That's why that's able to happen. So once again, this is another guy in the team who just does what you need him to do, Chris. Like Chris always says, Mr. What you need, coach. At it again. And the fact that he can be effective and have good games without hitting a 3 at all, which is the other thing, which is really the only offensive thing that we consistently seeing him doing as far as scoring, is from behind the 3-point line. So when he's not even doing that and he's still having a good, solid game for you, it just tells you about all the other things that he can do for you that don't show up on the box score. That's why he's a box score deceiver. That's why he's Mr. What you need, coach. 20. Okay, here we go. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, so yeah, and he didn't have a ton of threes that game either. He just played the way he plays the same way every game.
Yeah.
Whether the shots falling, whether he's scoring a ton of points, he's going to bring that same mentality every game. And that's valuable in the playoffs. So that's all I got for him, boss. Let's go to our last guy, Paul Reed, in this game. B-ball Paul, guys, finished with 8 points on 4 of 7 shooting overall, 4 boards, 1 assist, and a steal in 15. Take off.
Just like in the second quarter, just like Greg Kelser, a classic, he just goes, man, I love Paul Reed.
He said it again. You caught that? It's like every game now.
Yep. He loves him. He's going to be advocating for him when we have to do he's on my list of who I would protect in a merger.
Expansion?
Yeah. He's on my list. I can't give him up. But
who do you think should come to the East if they add 2 more teams?
Minnesota.
Just hold that. Oh, okay. I was going to say, hold that thought. I was thinking the same thing. Chat, who do you guys think should come to the East if they do add 2 more teams to the league? Probably have one more East and West.
I'll quickly just say I thought I was kind of team Pelicans or Grizzlies, honestly, Grizzlies. But then people made the argument that like they're very close to Texas, those kind of teams. They still close. And like Minnesota is in the same division as the Nuggets, but like the Pelicans are closer to the Spurs and Mavericks than the Timberwolves are the Nuggets. So just interesting. But anyways, and it would just bring, I think, more competition than those other 2 teams. Not that can change in a few years, but it would be fun.
Ant-Man and Cade in the East will be crazy.
Yeah,
he said Wolves can stay out West. I was screaming. Go ahead though.
Yeah, exactly. But in the second, so here's the thing. I just loved, he had a lefty hook over LeBron, and B-Ball Paul is our third. He's our third big, and I don't know if he ever pictured, like, I don't know if he ever imagined himself going one-on-one against LeBron James in this league, you know, like this, the opportunity and how he's been able to step up. I'm just happy for him. He had, again, a really nice left hook over LeBron. He had a big board presence on both ends. He was grabbing rebounds. He was scoring the basketball. He was just being aggressive. He made the right calls, the right decisions. Sorry, let me look on his thing real quick. Yeah. To be in the stocks as well. He led the bench in rebounds, which is exactly what you want from your bench big.
Yep.
4 of 7. Yeah, for 57% is beautiful. No 3 attempts, which eventually I'd love. No turnovers, which usually he gets 1 just based on trying to be aggressive. But yeah, another solid show out from B-Ball. And it's kind of crazy because like JD had a quieter night at 33 minutes, and then B-Ball had just under 15 minutes. But he was just
48.
He was just very, but he was just very he's just so aggressive out there. Like he's just constantly moving. He is a big guy, but he moves like he has muscle and is gonna body you. Like that's how he's happy and willing to attack on offense no matter who it is. And he had Hayes in like a spin cycle. Like I think Hayes was one of the Hayes block read. It was one, but it's like that's your like Hayes was a starter before Ayton as well. Like Paul Reed is outplaying you. B-Ball Paul. So it's just
always third big in the league, in my opinion.
Always a blast. And like we mentioned, good cuts to the basket that Herter was able to find. He's always moving. He's just making the right decisions as well. And he's just a blast to see out there. And again, he's like another reason like I do want a larger rotation in the playoffs, because I want him to play in the playoffs. I think we will see it. I was kind of hoping too, if like the game got close tonight, I wouldn't have mind B-Ball in there with JD. I think they could have just slowed some guys down. But I also wasn't mad at the rotations they ended with at all. So yeah,
I think he'll play in the playoffs
from B-Ball. I do too.
I think he'll play. He played last year and he's even better this year. I think.
But last year he played mostly because Stu went out.
That's true.
But I do think he will be called upon. And again, if there's a third string big I want in this league to help with our first 2, Duran and Stu, get into foul trouble, it's B-Ball Paul.
It's Reed or Reed. The best third big in the league. Both of the last name was Reed. Nas Reed and Paul Reed. I thought he was.
Reed is their third pick, you think?
Yeah. He doesn't start. They got Gobert and they have what's the other big? Lefty. I don't know. The scoring big. They got from New York. Can't think of his name right now. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I can't think of his name right. The starting power forward for the T-Wolves. You as much as you can't stand the T-Wolves because of Denver, you can't think of who it is. I'm drawing a blank. Hold on, I'm about to look it up right now. Let's see.
But if it's a starting power forward, then it's not. Then Naz Reid is the second off the bench.
Third big, boss, off the bench.
Okay, well, I'm talking about third off the bench, which would be it'd be Duren and then Stu. Like two. Now I'm not talking two starters and then Naz Reid comes in that's still second.
Well, that's how it is to Detroit. You got Tobias.
I'm talking about center.
Okay, so JD, Stu, and then B-Ball Paul. Right?
Yeah, so he's third. That's what I'm saying. So
you got
Naz
Rudy
Reid
Gobert.
Big to me.
You got Naz Reid, and what is his name? Why can't I find this dude's name?
Are you talking about Julius Randle?
Julius Randle. Yes.
That's not a center.
I didn't say a center. I said third big.
Okay, I'm talking about
because they have a three big rotation.
When I say big, I mean center. So because I just call a team big is their center. So when I say, I'll just clarify.
But Naz Reid plays center for them.
Well,
he plays center for them because he plays with Julius Randle as the center.
But he's off the bench for them. Second.
But he plays center though.
Okay, but he's second off the bench. So I'm talking about B-Ball Paul being third. I'm clarifying right now. If B-Ball's not in the playoff rotation and you have Duren and then you have Stu, like they have Gobert and then Reid, then I'm saying after if Duren gets into foul trouble or Stu gets into foul trouble or gets injured, then the third option is B-Ball Paul. And I love that for us. That's more so what I mean. Like, I get it. Like, yeah, obviously Naz Reid is amazing and he's a backup center, but he's their second backup. Paul Reid is our third backup. That's what I'm saying. Like three in a line.
Okay.
I don't know why you're misunderstanding me and like intentionally right now.
No, it's not intentional at all. I want to understand. I just don't know what you're saying. I'm just looking at who.
Paul in a 10-man rotation for the playoffs. B-Ball Paul's not in it, right?
As of right now, I would say no.
Right. Yeah, the way if our starting five stays the same, B-Ball Paul is in the rotation.
Yeah.
But so I'm saying if Duren goes down or Stu goes down, I'm so thrilled we have a guy like B-Ball Paul. Other teams don't have that. The Timberwolves have Gobert and then they have Naz Reid second. And what if those guys go down? Who's their third center?
So he's saying Randle doesn't play center though. He's saying Julius Randle doesn't play center.
Forward. I'm not talking about center. I mean, I'm talking about center. You said power forward.
I said big.
Okay, and now I'm saying big for center. So
I didn't say center. I'm just saying the three bigs.
I'm trying to clarify for you right now. Please let me clarify. So if Gobert is the starter in the Timberwolves, and then Naz Reid is the backup center for the Wolves, and then one of them gets in foul trouble. I don't even know who their third is. I don't even know.
That's what I'm saying. Naz plays either position. He can play the power forward.
I'm not talking about that. Oh my God. I'm trying to
Let's talk about this offline because this is taking way too long, bro. We can talk about it later. Everybody seems to be done with this conversation.
Let me clarify. No, Deuce, let me clarify. So
I'm probably still not gonna get it. Like you tried to explain it 3 times. It's still not clicking for whatever reason.
That our third string center is Paul Reid because other teams don't have a third string center that they can rely on. A third string center.
Great. I'm glad that the third big in the league, the best third big in the league is Naz Reid. That's all I was saying initially. I was just saying we had the third best big in the league aside from the other one that's named Reid in Minnesota. So it doesn't even matter, bro. The point is that we got a great big man in Paul Reid. I don't even know why we went so far in the conversation. It wasn't even necessary. All right, let's keep pushing, man. Let's keep pushing. Let's go to the schedule coming up. So, guys, after this game, the Pistons they stay home. The next game is against the Atlanta Hawks, and they will play game 3 of their 4-game homestand Wednesday night when the Hawks come to town, who have also been hot. They've just won. Well, they had won 11 straight games. They had that streak snapped by the Houston Rockets a couple days ago, but they are playing good basketball right now. So what are you guys' thoughts looking ahead to this matchup against the Atlanta Hawks? They're playing really, really well right now. Chat, let us know what thoughts you have. Boss, what thoughts do you have looking ahead to this game? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I call this one a win. I still think we're going to get there. They had a really good game tonight. They won against the Grizzlies, but it's the Grizzlies. It was pretty spread out. They had a lot of guys play minutes. They have Kuminga, which will be exciting. I think he's doing well with them. But yeah, I still have this as a win. It's going to be a challenge. The Hawks are still fighting for position, but it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So we'll see you guys if the Pistons can notch their 5th straight win. So listen, guys, we're going to call it there. Y'all still having a blah moment. I probably am, but it's cool. I ain't going to entertain y'all with that. We can talk about that later. But we appreciate you guys, as always, showing up and showing out as you guys always do. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe if you are new. What's up?
Wednesday's a national broadcast game.
It is a national broadcast game. Do you know where they're playing at? What network?
No, I don't. I can look it up real quick.
I forgot about that. Yeah, so guys, we are going to be doing a live stream with you guys Wednesday when we play the Atlanta Hawks. That should be a good game too. ESPN. Okay, that's cool. So yeah, guys, we will be here whenever time the game starts. We'll be here for you guys. That's going to be a fun one. So we're looking forward to that game. So make sure y'all pull up for the live stream, and we will also be going live after the game as well for our post game. So with that, guys, hope you have a great night. And y'all know the drill, man. Detroit versus everybody. See y'all Wednesday.
All the dirty work, all dog. I'ma dive on the floor, go try to block every shot, and I'ma be physical with you the whole game. You know Stu gonna be physical with you. When you think of the Pistons, you think of just hard work and just gritty basketball. That's just the identity you gotta have when you put on that jersey.
I'm not your average breed of canine. Not a good dog, I'm bad boy for life. I set the tone, don't care about no tick. Let it be known, I get my respect. Come in the lane and see I don't bluff. If you retaliate, that's on ya. Talking pundits, I hear your shade. Talking that shop, you must run this way. Tryna tell ya, if the dog palm, mess around, find out, Tryna tell ya, if the dog palm, mess around, find out, For some barbecue sauce, boy, you better cough a hill, cause I'm like that. When you're real for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better cough a hill, cause I'm like that. Mess around.